on YouTube now. Stand by. Aloha, shifters and light guardians. Welcome once again to another one of our inspirational team tarot reading broadcasts. I'm your host, Mystic Spider-Man, Brendan. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We are live here Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT-ish. And thank you guys so much for joining in. If you guys are tuned in on YouTube, go ahead and leave some comments down in the chat. We're going to be getting some momentum going, and we'll get right into our first reading as soon as possible. And again, the way how this works, we hang out here as a team to be able to bring forth some inspiration and wisdom from the universe. We use a variety of tarot and oracle decks here. Every reading that we do is for the collective, so for whoever's tuned in, allow yourself to be open to the synchronicities and know that there is a message here for you as well. For those who would like to be able to receive an on-air reading, that option is available by contributing on either PayPal or Patreon. PayPal, you can contribute either a $5 contribution or anything higher than that, and then we just kind of like pay it forward. And for the Patreon, that's our monthly membership. And again, with the monthly membership, that gives you access to additional exclusive events here within our conscious community. We got some cool events coming up this week, actually. We have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle today, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. EDT. And then this Thursday, we actually have a Conscious Creator Soul Party. So that's going to be a really cool chance for us to be able to hang out and connect and yeah, really just get to know each other a little bit more as a team of shifters. So I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go. For those of you on Instagram or TikTok, go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And we'll start off with the Hero's Journey deck today, the Hero's Journey Oracle deck. And we'll just take a few moments here to be able to get things all set up and ready to go. If anybody is nice and ready to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now, and we'll keep our eyes open for that, and then we'll continue along with the readings. Not exactly sure how long today's broadcast is going to be. It might just be maybe an hour, give or take. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining in, and especially if you happen to be watching this in the future as well. So for those of you on YouTube and any platform, if you guys are ready for our first reading today, do me a favor, drop an 1111 in the chat, let me know, and we will get right into this. So again, for those of you who may be new to this, this is more than just tarot. This is about us creating the space to be able to help support and inspire each other as a team of shifters, people who are actively helping assist and accelerate the collective shift in consciousness. So if you may be new, then welcome. And again, this is an invitation for you guys to be able to connect further into our community. Beautiful. All right. Welcome again, everyone. And yeah, let's get right into our first reading. Again, if you guys are ready for this, drop an 1111 in the chat. We'll just roll right into it. Again, I'm not 100% sure on how long the broadcast will go for this morning. There's a lot of work that I got to get doing today as well, but we'll hang out here for at least maybe an hour, give or take. And again, for anybody who is ready to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, if you guys want to do that, go ahead as soon as you're ready, and we'll again initiate an on-air reading for you. You'll help facilitate. And then again, you can also be able to contribute on the Patreon, which is the monthly membership option. There's an $11 monthly membership there, or the $33 monthly membership there, which again also has some additional perks as well, which you can check out on my Patreon, and the link is in the info of this video and then the link in my profile. For those of you tuning in on TikTok, again, every reading that we do, it's for the collective, and it's with the intention, show us what we need to see. So let's get right into this first reading. We're going to be using the Hero's Journey deck. And quick note, if you guys are on Twitch, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mystic Spider-Man Tarot. And yeah, definitely encouraging you to jump over to Twitch. There's a lot of awesome tarot readers on Twitch there as well. Good morning to Rasta. Good morning to Jessica. Good morning to MSV. Good morning to everybody on all platforms. And again, if you guys are ready for this first reading, drop that 1111 in the chat. If you guys are on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile and tune in on YouTube for the primary camera. So with that said, we will get right into our first reading, and yeah, we'll just go with the flow. So thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters, to Kristen, to Kayla, to Christine, to MLG, and to Sunny. So first reading, inviting everybody to just be able to drop into their heart space, and we'll just do a quick little meditation, focusing on the intention, show us what we need to see while holding gratitude in our heart. So for those of you who may be new here, allow yourself to just follow along, and we'll get right into it. So with that said, here we go. Thank you everyone for joining. So for those who are here, when you're ready, just go ahead and gently close your eyes. Allow yourself to just connect with your breath as you join us here in this meditation. Soft, gentle inhales and soft, gentle exhales. As you breathe here, just allow your body to soften. Allow yourself to arrive into this present moment. And just bring your awareness into your heart space. Gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for this space, for this community, for the messages we are here to receive. And with gratitude in our hearts for everybody here, collectively focusing on the intention, show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see, what will help give us guidance, which will reflect some inspiration for us to be able to be supported on this path. So show us what we need to see, we being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. So for everybody here, focusing on that intention, speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And so holding that intention within your heart, continuing to breathe here, imagining this like beautiful beam of light just rising up from where you are into the heavens and bringing down the wisdom of the stars as we get ready to move into this first draw. So when you're ready, keep breathing here, focusing on that intention. Gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you, and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat, and we'll split the deck and we'll see what message the universe has to start our day. So here we go. Do you feel the heartbeat? Do you feel the breath? Do you feel the rhythm of each and every single day that helps you rise into your best? Because you are an extension of the cycles that are, because you bring forth the magic of the stars. Because yes, you are nature, and yet you are so much more, for there are still many more parts of you which you are continuing to open through the many doors. So as you expand your mind and you expand your heart, let us draw forth the card to be able to see how to awaken the truth of our inner heart. Zoom, boom, 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 boom. The echo reverb effect. So, all right, first card that we have pulled for today. Well, this is a very beautiful card. Very, very, very gentle card. I'm in just kind of like a very like soft mood today. So if you guys are feeling that mood, it's just kind of one of those days where it's just like, so sending you guys some soft vibes. The card that we have pulled, the first card that we have pulled for today is card number 16. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. Card number 16. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. So I got the book open here, and again, what we'll do here, we'll read from the book, and then from there we will continue to draw some additional inspiration. I'll just kind of channel from my heart to yours. And again, as we do this, for anybody who's tuned in on YouTube or Instagram, if you guys are fans of our work and you guys want to be able to contribute on the PayPal or Patreon and join on air for the next reading, or sorry, not join on air, but to be able to get an on-air reading, then go ahead and contribute on the PayPal or Patreon. And yeah, I'd love to be able to get one new Patreon sign up today, especially again for those of you looking to be able to connect into our members events this week. So all right, let's just focus in on this card here, and we'll talk more about everything else as we go. So just taking a moment here to visually admire the image here on this card, and we'll just explain that here real quickly. So you are in great company here. So what do we have? We have this image of two people, and one of them is, both of them are hunched over. One of them just kind of sitting there with their knees against their chest, and the other one just kind of like holding them from behind, their arms wrapped around them. At least it looks like two people. As far as I can tell, it's two people. But yeah, it's like one person kind of like hands on their face, and then another person with their arms kind of wrapped around them, so kind of like giving them a hug from behind. When you guys see this card, what does it make you feel? When you guys see the image of this card, what does it make you feel? Good morning, Candace. And yeah, some beautiful reds, some beautiful blues there. Again, just explain the literal image of the card here. So let's dive a little bit deeper. And good morning to Wheezy. Good morning. Thank you for joining in. So, okay, here we go. If you're here, this message is for you. May it speak to your heart. Card number 16. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. This is a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. Breathing in, I see all my ancestors in me, my mineral ancestors, plant ancestors, mammal ancestors, and human ancestors. My ancestors are always present, alive in every cell of my body, and I play a part of their immortality. Here's the message. For those of you on TikTok, go ahead and click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. Those who have made the biggest impact on the planet, in addition to feeling extremely passionate, felt resistance too. And sorry, I'll just reiterate, as we're reading this, if anything I say resonates with you, type 1111 in the chat. So just do that as a way to kind of like indicate, and you guys can chat about it as well. So reread that again. Those who have made the biggest impact on the planet, in addition to feeling extremely passionate, felt resistance too. Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, Harriet Tubman, Joan of Arc, Sasha Waugh, Marie Curie are but a few. Every hero and shiro in history has had moments of self-doubt, even paralyzing fear, before doing the courageous act that became the legacy. They felt the fear, but did what they were called to do anyway. For this reason, you do not need to be detoured when you bump against uncertainty. In fact, doubt helps to chisel the ego out of the way, which is key to accomplishing a mission of merit and becoming a channel of grace and higher purpose. A channel of grace a higher purpose can move through. I'm gonna reread that again. That part's actually really, really powerful there. So. In fact, doubt helps to chisel the ego out of the way, which is key to accomplishing a mission of merit and becoming a channel of grace a higher purpose can move through. Know that you are in great company, and when you are ready, you'll get up and go, like the great ones who came before you, upon whose shoulders you now stand. Dream symbol. Every card from this deck has a dream symbol. Party. Oh, nice party. Dreams of a party are a celebration, integration, and or an affirmation that you are on track. This dream may also be giving you the message that there is strength in numbers, and you are never alone. Consider the way you feel at your dream party. If you are uncomfortable, it reflects the dissonance that self-love is needed to entwine the many aspects of yourself. If you feel that you fit in and in a jovial experience, then you are in harmony with yourself. Mantra. Like the heroes before me, I feel the doubt and follow through anyways. All right, so let's talk a little bit deeper about this card. And thank you again, everyone, for joining in. It's kind of a quiet morning today, so things are pretty chill here. So just sending you guys lots of good vibes for those of you tuned in. We'll keep an eye on any contributions on the PayPal or Patreon. So again, if you guys want to be able to help fuel this broadcast, go ahead and support on PayPal or Patreon when it works for you. So diving a little bit deeper here. This is a very beautiful message, and I think the important thing with this message really speaks to the doubt that is actually quite common in many of us. You know, right now the world is going through an incredibly important transformation period, and the fact is that the transformation period that the world is going through right now isn't actually something new. It's actually a continuation of the transformation that's been happening for eons and eons, generations before us. And so much like how we in this moment here are faced with resistance, it's important to be able to remind ourselves that that resistance is a part of the transformation. Much like how that resistance is something that we'll experience within our personal realities, it's also the experience that's happening within our collective realities. And I've said this before, this idea that, you know, like within the problem is the solution. And so you look at the people of the past and you look to them as not just examples, but also allies that have shared a similar journey, who have shared a similar ambition. And I think what's important is for especially those of us who resonate as light workers and light guardians and, you know, shifters, is to be able to tap into like this collective momentum, this collective courage, this collective story. I think we are oftentimes at our quote unquote weakest when we think that we're alone, when we've kind of like shifted into this illusion of feeling disconnected, of not feeling like we have anyone to talk to, of feeling like we're carrying the weight of the world entirely on our own shoulders. But the reality is that there are always those who are here to support us. And even those who support us may not necessarily even be there in a physical sense. Sometimes they may be there more so in an energetic sense, almost like tapping into a past archetype. You know, you tap into the heroes of your story, and you tap into them as an energy to be able to bring forth the courage within inside your heart. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, like what would Hercules do, or what would Superman do, or you know, for those of you who resonate with it, you know, it's like, what would Jesus do, and stuff like that. Any of these heroes that we look to in history, like what made them heroes? It didn't make them heroes because they were able to coast through life. They were heroes because they met resistance and then they persevered. So courage isn't being fearless. Courage is moving forward even in the presence of fear, in knowing that fear is actually a prerequisite to courage is a big part of our journey and our growth. And that's a very, very powerful message. So with this card, it's really inviting you to be able to remind yourself of your own inner courage. And I want to be able to do that too for everybody here, you know, just giving you the reminder and holding up a mirror for you to be able to acknowledge, even just in this moment, the courage that you already hold. And that courage may not be something that you know, looks incredibly obvious at some point. But the courage in itself is again about, sometimes courage is about being gentle in a harsh world. Sometimes courage is being able to listen to your heart when others tell you not to as well. So is there a time all empath lights come together to put light and love to all here at the same time? Susie, I think there's lots of meditations and stuff happening all the time, if that's what you're asking, but we're definitely doing it together as a collective right now. So again, you know, with this card, just diving into this card for a little bit more, and then we'll move into another card shortly after. This is a very, very powerful card that, again, you know, for each of us who are here. Hey, Xavier Midi, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Thank you for joining in, and happy to be able to have you here. So again, with this card, just to be able to recap, this card is called You Are in Great Company. And it's basically referring to the idea that for those of us who are at this point in our reality where we are trying to be able to transform the world, but we are facing resistance, it's important to be able to remind ourselves that we actually come from a lineage of light workers, whether or not we're like genetically related to them, a lineage of those of us who carry a common devotion, and let the devotion of those who were before you actually inspire and motivate you on this path by being able to tap into the stories of their collective courage. And yet even still, this idea of being able to think about the idea of, you know, those before us is one thing, but let's take a moment here to also be able to acknowledge those who are here with us right now. You know, one of the beautiful things that we have going on here within our community, within the community that I help facilitate for our Patreon members and people, again, connected through our broadcasts and everything, we carry with us this collective momentum by being able to acknowledge the great company that we are in, by being able to see the creators that we are surrounded by. If you are trying to be able to evolve into this energy that is inside of you, that is here to be able to help transform the world, one of the most important things to be able to do is surround yourself with other people that are doing the same. And that's something that can spark a light inside of you. You know, like, it's interesting. You think of the idea, it's like one person can literally change the world. One person can inspire those around them, and then those people around them can inspire those people around them, and so forth and so on. So don't underestimate the idea that not only are you already in great company, but you yourself are great company. You yourself have the ability to be able to nurture and inspire those around you in ways that may not necessarily seem incredibly important at first. But if you plant those seeds, if you lead by example, if you are living your authentic life and you are living from a heart-based place and you are speaking in your truth and standing in your truth, even when the world is convincing you otherwise, then that in itself creates a ripple effect. That in itself will give others permission to be able to say, hey, you know what? This is what we need collectively. This is what we need. This is what the world needs. It gives them a chance to be able to identify something they see in you that they want to be able to cultivate in themselves. So, you know, you think of the word admire, and oftentimes when we see something that we admire within someone else, like right now, like for everybody here, leave in the comments down below, who is someone that you admire? Historically, presently, someone in your life right now, maybe someone that you follow online, someone in the online community. Who do you admire? give yourself a chance to really be able to reflect on that, because oftentimes what we identify as someone who we admire is actually someone who we are seeing traits of that we want to be able to embody within ourselves. And that's often what can happen through the company of being around other people who are working towards this path of transformation and greatness and kindness, and not even trying to necessarily always aspire to other things, but simply like the inspiration can come through the process of simply being. It can come through the process of being able to remove the kind of facade of this idea that we constantly have to become something more. Oftentimes, like, it can actually become incredibly inspiring to meet someone who is actually quite profound at simply being, someone who isn't caught up in like kind of like this narrative where they need to like chase this ideal or something like that. And in the process of being, this is a process of being able to connect back to the wisdom of the heart. And so you are not only in great company energetically, spiritually, on levels of consciousness that are beyond this one, past loved ones who still support you, but here physically, you are in great company, and we together are great company for each other. And so as you continue to surround yourself with other people that you admire and that you are inspired by, allow that to be something that you cultivate in a way that you can pass on. Allow that to be something that naturally helps you pull back the layers and pull back the illusions of not only who you are but who you are not. And then as you do this, again, it naturally will allow others to be able to look to you both as an example and as a mirror for them to be able to see that within themselves. So together we carry with us an unstoppable force, literally unstoppable. Like the power of the power of intention, the power of like a collective drive within even a small group of individuals is so incredibly important. And Ashley, thank you for your comments. And that in itself is what is changing the world, and will continue to change the world. So right now, again, with a card like this card really reflects on a lot of what I'm really passionate about doing here within the community. And again, for those of you who may be new, the big thing that I do within the community is build a team of conscious creators. And in the process of doing that, together, we are inspiring each other. And then together, those conscious creators are surrounding themselves with other amazing people as well. And we have like these like networks and, kind of like groups of people that are branching off from one another, but still root back to this single source energy of, again, being the dream awakening to itself, the soul's awakening here on the planet to help other souls do the same. So this is a celebration. This is a celebration, and not only are we in great company to be able to lead resistances and revolutions, but we are also in great company to really be able to celebrate and to practice being in our heart, and to practice being able to connect back to that source of magic and to that source of deep gratitude and deep knowing as well. So I'll wrap you up here on this card, but you guys let me know, does this resonate with you? Like, does me just talking about this kind of give you a little bit of a reminder, and you're just like, oh yeah, like, thank you. Like, thank you for reminding me of the company that we are in and the importance of company, and to be able to connect into the, again, the archetypes of the people from our historic past whose energy still lives on through you. Like the revolutionaries of the past, their energy lives through you as you intentionally choose to be able to connect to it through aspiration and inspiration and admiration as well. So cool. Susie, awesome. Thank you for the comment. Susie says, yes, that is awesome. So beautiful. All right, so I'll wrap it up here just because I want to be able to save my voice. And what I would invite everyone here to do is to be able to write out a little affirmation based on the lesson that you got from this card, like something that this card just gave you, some sort of deep message in this card that you want to be able to reflect back through a written affirmation. So this can be an I am affirmation or a we are affirmation. So go ahead and either write that in the chat or just reflect on your heart. And this is a way to just be able to embody the message. So I'll just take a moment here. I am continuing to honor and celebrate those in my company, those who have come before me and those who are here now, who share common visions and goals. Their courage is my courage is their courage, as we continue to transform the world together. Aho. That's my little affirmation. You guys can write out your own. So, all right. Any other affirmations? We'll read those into the chat. Very, very beautiful card. Again, that card, it was, you are in great company. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. Very beautiful card. For anybody just jumping in, if you guys were curious that card, you can find the recording on my YouTube channel. You can always just like skim and check it back. So, all right. So we'll take a quick break here in an intermission. And at this point, just inviting anybody who is ready to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon. So if you would like to be able to get an on-air reading for yourself, but also the collective, meaning you would help facilitate the reading, your instructions would help us intuitively and synchronistically pull a card, then go ahead and contribute on PayPal. And you can do that for a $5 contribution. That helps support myself and the team and the community. Or you can also join on Patreon. And again, that's our monthly membership. And again, speaking of great company, this week we have a few member events coming up. Today at 4 p.m. EDT, we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle. And that's a chance for us to come together. Our Patreon members to come together and to be able to work together on projects and to be able to help support each other on the content we're creating and to be able to collab. So that's pretty cool. And then this Thursday at 8 p.m. in the evening EDT, we actually have a Conscious Creator Soul Party. So for those of you who are here, if you guys are feeling the call to want to be able to not only connect further with me, but also to be able to connect further with our team of conscious creators, definitely go ahead and check out the Patreon. It takes about maybe like 2 or 3 minutes to be able to sign up there. And that'll also give you access to lots of other cool benefits. And I'll just plug this real quick, and then we'll keep an eye open for new readings. Then we'll get into another reading as soon as we're ready. And after that, that may be the last reading for today. But if there are new signups on Patreon or contributions on PayPal, then we will keep going. So if you sign up at the $33 level on Patreon, you can also get one of these beautiful Light Guardian crystals as a gift. Just ask that you guys pay shipping. That's a little extra bonus incentive and thank you for those of you who are signing up at the $33 level. So the $33 level is the best value. And also at the $33 level, you also get a monthly one-on-one session with me. And that can be for one-on-one tarot or one-on-one conscious media coaching, or even just like one-on-one, just like casually hanging out and shooting the shift, as we like to say. You can also order those crystals through my shop. Again, I hand make those. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. The Patreon and the PayPal link for those of you on TikTok, those are in my profile. So if you click my profile link, you'll see it there. And if you sign up on Patreon, the contributions process on the 1st of each month. So even if you sign up today, nothing processes until October 1st. So you can think of it as like a trial period, and that will give you access to our upcoming events this week. So again, if you guys are interested in joining into the Patreon and have any questions, feel free to let me know. So cool. Wheezy says, I am a conduit for revolutionaries of the past to bring their continuous healing to earth. Very well said, Wheezy. I like that. And cool, awesome. Wheezy's going to check out the Patreon later tonight. Thank you, Wheezy. And Wheezy, send me a direct message on Instagram if you have any questions as need be. And I'm more than happy to be able to give you additional information if you have any questions. So cool, thank you, Wheezy. All right, so again, I feel like since it's a small audience, I'm not going to wait around too long for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon right now, but we will get into another reading. And then the next reading will either be the last reading for today, but if there are new signups on PayPal or Patreon, then we'll go from there. And I'm working on some updates like for the Patreon and stuff today, so it works out well. If I'm not here doing broadcasts with you guys, like I'm just doing work and on other stuff as well. So hey Trevor, good morning. Hey Lizelle, good morning as well. All right, let's do the Lightworker Oracle deck. So again, for anybody who would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that. And we can do another reading after this. Otherwise, this will be the last reading for today. And we got still got 5 people tuned in on YouTube right now. So that's awesome to see. And we got a few people tuned in on Twitch. If you guys are tuned in on Twitch, feel free to let me know. And if you guys want to tune in on YouTube from Twitch, that's also possible. You can also watch on YouTube. Cool. Sweet. Always doing upgrades, and yeah, happy to be able to help invite people into the team. Again, this isn't just tarot. This is a way for us to be able to reach out, share some inspiration, and be able to invite people back to what it is that we're creating here within the community. Cool. Susie, thank you so much. Susie's saying they're going to check out the Patreon Yeah, Susie, if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know. Susie, I'll send you a friend request right now. That way, so if you do have any questions, or just let me know there, and I can just follow up with information. So again, upcoming events for the Patreon supporters. So this today at 4 p.m. we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle, and that's where we collaborate with other members. And also this Wednesday we have a Conscious Creator Soul Party, so that's gonna be pretty fun as well. And that will be like that's like designed to be like a meet and greet. So like for new members, if you guys are new, that will be a chance for you to just kind of like hang out and chill out and get to meet some of the other members and be in great company. It's what it's about. So cool. Awesome. Susie, thank you again. Wheezy, thank you again. Let's get right into our next reading, and we'll keep things rolling here. And like I said, this will be the last reading for today unless we have any additional contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And that's totally fine with me because I got, like I said, I got a few other things that I'm excited to be able to work on for you guys. So, all right, let's get right into this next reading. Just inviting everyone to be able to join us in this quick little meditation. Again, setting the intention, show us what we need to see. And the deck that we're using is a Lightworker Oracle deck. So who here resonates with the idea of being a Lightworker? If so, drop an 1111 in the chat. And feel free to let us know. So I assume pretty much everybody does. Put out a very specific vibration with these broadcasts designed to be able to bring together light workers. So all right, cool. Okay, let's do this. So if everybody here, when you're ready, go ahead and just join us in a quick little meditation. Susie. And again, we'll set the intention, show us what we need to see. And again, the way we do this reading, it's team readings. So this reading is for anybody who happens to be tuned in. So thank you guys for adding your intention. So here we go. When you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Soft, gentle inhales, soft, gentle exhales. And as you breathe here, just allow yourself to connect into that space within your heart, just holding gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, the team, for the space, for the messages we are here to receive. With gentle breaths, holding gratitude in your heart, focusing together now on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. Show us what we need to see. Speak that intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Imagine this like beautiful beam of light shining up from wherever you are, up into the stars, and bringing down this ancient wisdom into this present moment, be able to support us on our path. Everybody here with this intention in your heart, gently breathing. When you're ready, slowly you can open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you. I'll charge the deck a little bit more and we'll split it, and we will see what message the universe has. So here we go. Within you and me, there has always been a druid and a mystic, an elven kin. For through the many ages we have come to see the magic that courses through the very blood of you and me. Because we are descendants of kings and of queens, and we are here to unlock our cosmic sovereignty. And so as we open our heart and expand our mind, let us draw forth a card to see what magic we shall find. Beautiful. All right. The card that we have pulled. Oh, well, this seems very relevant. Man, I kind of wish like 1 million people were tuned in for this one right now. The card that we have pulled for anybody tuned in right now for the collective is card number 7, Unplug from Mass Consciousness. Card number 7, Unplug from Mass Consciousness. Oh, how relative. So all right, let's just take a quick look here. Again, we'll just keep rolling with this one. If there are any contributions on PayPal or Patreon, we'll keep an eye open for that. Otherwise, this will be our last reading. Thank you guys again so much for joining in. Thank you for those of you checking out the Patreon later. And yeah, let's keep diving a little bit deeper. So for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, if you guys click the link in my profile, you can watch on YouTube. So if that's an option for you, feel free to do that. And that's like the better audio and camera as well. So I'll do my best to show it to both cameras. So let's just take a visual look at this and just break down the image. So this image, very, very powerful image of three faces kind of looking down, kind of in a solemn slumber, perhaps, or perhaps just in like a reflective state. And above them, you can see kind of like this kingdom of a higher dimensional palace with this light shining through this entranceway, this door, and these like beautiful rays of light just shining off there. And yeah, these kind of like shifts from very, very high intensity colors to more just kind of like the simple dark oranges and blacks and browns there as well. So again, that's just me explaining it literally. So let's dive a little bit deeper. So, all right, just drink my milk here. All right. Okay. Again, for anybody tuned in, this message is for you. So if this resonates with you, allow it to nurture your spirit and inspire your soul. There's something here for you that is for something that you can bring with you into the work that you do. So, all right. Card number 7, unplug from mass consciousness. If anything we say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. There is a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. It says it is safer to stay with the crowd, not to question what you have been taught. It says you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. It says you should be afraid to take risks. It says that if you dare stand up and live your truth, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. You are capable of a more creative, loving, and soul-satisfying way of living. To access this, let go of the way that is too small for your soul. Wow, this is powerful already. Again, if you guys resonate with this, drop those 1111s in the chat. You are brave and aware enough to think outside the square, beyond what society or your peers may consider normal. You are supposed to be questioning things right now. You are in a transition from one way of thinking to another, opening up to a new world which you can trust enough to live in with peace and happiness because the upgraded new beliefs you are cultivating. No matter how others may resist or criticize your choices, perhaps your new ideas take you away from the world they feel comfortable in, right? Yeah, Susie, I figured you would resonate with this. Let me reread that past part. No matter how others may resist or criticize your choices, perhaps your new ideas take you away from the world they feel comfortable in. Your higher guidance encourages you to keep opening your mind to a more loving, higher reality. Interesting, because this card very much like relates to the previous card we had, and usually when you tune into these readings, like the cards almost form a sequence. It's very interesting. If you have been thinking along new lines and wonder if you are going crazy, your guidance tells you you are doing a great job. You are not crazy. Trust yourself. You are thinking in ways that You are not crazy. Trust yourself. You are thinking in ways that do not belong to mass consciousness. It can seem scary at first, but once you realize the benefits gained from unplugging, you will enjoy the process much more. It will free you and empower you to live a life of your own choosing. Opportunities and connections to open to you in ways that defy your old belief systems. Sometimes breaking from the accepted norm, doing things differently, or being considered weird to family, colleagues, and friends is a sign that you are breaking away from the consciousness of the masses, which is not compatible with your own higher frequency consciousness. You were born to bring a new vibration of awareness to this planet. You will find those who can benefit and even love you for this difference, and those who are challenged or fearful of you for it. Yeah, this is like so relatable right now, right? Either way, you can love and improve yourself, nourish relationship and support you and have compassionate detachment from those that do not, without compromising who you are in truth. Wow, I like that term. Compassionate detachment. A very interesting way of putting it. So, keep unplugging yourself, one layer, thought, word, and deed at a time, from that which the mass consciousness would have you buy into. More stuff, more fear, more competition, more doubt, and more suffering. You can challenge any thought you don't want to have. Free yourself. You have the power to change your world and the world we live in. As a result, one liberating thought at a time. Then there's an invocation here, which I'll read after we just go a little bit deeper here. So again, for those of you just tuning in, the card we pulled is Unplug from Mass Consciousness. And I'll just kind of continue to just tap into the wisdom from my heart and just bring forth a little bit more of the significance of this card. So yeah, Susie, I can definitely tell, like, for a lot of people, this card's definitely going to be like, this is exactly what we're going through right now. This card is spot on, 100%. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. Again, as we're doing this, for those of you tuned in, this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any contributions on PayPal or new Patreon signups. So if you guys want to keep the broadcast going for a little bit longer, again, Patreon, PayPal is in the info for this video or in the link in my profile. But if you guys are signing up for the Patreon later, it's totally fine. So, okay. So yeah, this card, oh my goodness, is this card not exactly like this card? It's interesting because like this tarot deck would have been written like how many years ago, right? And yet even now, like the theme of it is incredibly more prevalent. But it just goes to show you that the experience that we're going through right now, where a lot of us are speaking our truth against a mass consciousness that does not agree with us, this is nothing new. Like there have always been people that have questioned mass consciousness. There have always been people that have questioned the main narrative. And when you look at it, you know, like right now, like the main narrative of the world is one that's almost like designed to disempower. It's designed to be able to keep people dependent on a system. It's designed to be to take away people's sovereignty in a lot of ways. So for you to naturally not only question the mass consciousness, but to also be able to begin creating an alternative to it is incredibly important now more than ever. And it's important to be able to be mindful of how you're doing that, because I think in today's day and age, you know, there's a variety of ways where you can lead this revolution, but this revolution, you know, can be led in a variety of ways. This revolution can be led with like, you know, a cannonball, so to speak, metaphorically, or it can be led with a hug. It can be led with softness. It can be led with gentleness. Either way, something needs to change. Something needs to be able to transform. And our job isn't necessarily to be able to, you know, enforce our perspectives of how we see the world on other people. It doesn't really happen that way. I mean, you're on the opposite end of them trying to do the same. You can't just force people how to think. That in itself creates this, like, you know, this very big tension that really isn't necessary in most cases. So instead, you know, what we can do is to start really just being able to focus on those who are in resonance with our energy, and to be able to lead through that example while still planting seeds along the way, while continuing to be able to have an invitation for others to be able to say, like, look, like, you might not want me to eat at your table, but I'm still inviting you to eat at mine. And if you do eat at mine, you might need to listen more than you talk. You know, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. That's a old saying my grandfather used to say. But again, with this card, it really just reflects where we are right now. And again, sometimes breaking from the accepted norm, doing things differently, or being considered weird to family, colleagues, and friends is a sign that you are breaking away from the consciousness of the masses, which is not compatible with your own higher frequency consciousness. So it's interesting because, like, the consciousness of collective, of communities has frequency to it. It's like an energetic space, and that space isn't always a physical space. That space is like a space of the mind. And so it makes sense that, you know, for some of us, we will literally, you know, be in the presence of this space, and our soul will just be like, I can't stay here. Like this doesn't, I don't resonate with this. Like, it's literally a vibrational mismatch. And so in those circumstances, you know, it's okay to be able to acknowledge that, because I think what we're moving into is this new level of conscious awakening where people are really starting to trust their intuition more. Some of us, not all of us. People are really starting to be able to listen to what the soul wants. And I think for a lot of us, you know, with what's been happening in the world right now, our soul's been giving us very clear messages, like pretty much from the get-go. They're just like, like, I don't know, like something's a little off here. And it's okay. Like, it's okay to be able to question, not just question authority, even though that is something that you should be doing, but to be able to question what is best for you, and to be able to really practice listening to that heart space and really practice listening to your intuition, and to do things because you know it's best for you, not just because you're being pressured and forced and coerced and peer pressured and all of these things that unfortunately we're seeing a lot of people succumb to. So one of the things that I think is important for this card, that I think, you know, for a lot of us, this is something that we really need to be able to keep in mind, is going into the previous card that we had before this, the one about you're in good company and like the courage of those that came before us, is, and Susie, I see your comment there, definitely relate, is to be able to really see this as a time to enact our will. This is a very, very, very important time to enact our will and the strength of our will, and to lean on the strength of our will, because we need to lean into the strength of our will. Because I think right now, like what's actually happening is that like the pressure of the mass consciousness, and for those of you tuned on Instagram, you guys tuned in at a really interesting time. The card that we just pulled is called Unplug from Mass Consciousness. So it's like all about what's happening in the world right now. But I will just say this, is that, you know, right now we're seeing this circumstance in the world where basically what's happening is the mass consciousness, they're trying to get people to basically like join them, to like, reminds me of the Borg in a Star Trek, where it's like assimilate, like resistance is futile, assimilate. And yet, you know, in the story of Star Trek and everything like that, like, you know, you need to have the will to resist. You need to be able to have the will to be able to continue to stand by the truth of your soul. Because what's happening right now is they will put all of these circumstances on you, and they will make things hard and make things challenging and make things difficult. And I think what we need to be able to do in order to be able to practice unplugging from the mass consciousness, is to not only to plug into the alternative consciousness, which is again much more like holistic, heart-based, sovereign consciousness, but to what was I going to say here exactly? I feel like, sorry, I think I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, Borgs and everything like that. But yes, that's what I'm going to say. You almost want to be able to meditate on like the extremity of how much they will try to pressure you ahead of time. Like, cultivate the will now, so that when things get harder, you're not suddenly like, oh, like that's my tipping point. Like that's where, okay, now I'll subject myself to the mass consciousness. Now I'll assimilate into it. Like they took me to that point, and now I can no longer resist, so to speak. What you want to be able to do is cultivate the will inside of you right now, and basically get used to the idea that things are going to get harder and things are going to get weirder, and you have to anticipate them constantly, kind of like, you know, like removing the freedoms and removing the privileges and removing the sovereignty, but at the same time, you know, like they will never truly be able to take like the will of your soul. They will never truly be able to touch your soul, so long as you do not give it to them. Like that's the thing. Like right now, like let's get into some deep stuff. This is like stuff that's like could talk about for a while, and it's not even, you know, stuff that I think needs to be talked about right now. But what's happening in the world right now, like through the programming of the mass consciousness, basically like what they're trying to do is they're trying to get people to willingly sell their soul. Like there's a law within this universe, like this is some deep stuff here, like there's only a small group of you tuned in right now, but like it's kind of better because like you say this stuff to other people and they're just like, you could almost get in trouble for saying this in some way or another, so I have to be careful. But there's a law that's basically within this planet, within this universe, where you cannot take someone's free will away. However, you can coerce them to the point where they give their freedom away, and not only give their freedom away, but literally sell their soul, to literally like give up their soul, so to speak, or to give up their property of their soul, or their connection to their soul. It's very weird, and again, interpret this how you will. But that's what we're seeing right now is you know, like literally we're in this situation where from some top down a thing, you know, they've created this crazy circumstance where they're forcing people to make a choice. And that choice is to literally, you know, like will you sell your soul? And I think for those of us, when we unplug from that mass consciousness, it's not only unplugging from it, but it's plugging back into something that is incredibly strong within us, something that has like this deep resilience within our heart. So again, for those of us who are unplugging from the mass consciousness, it's kind of hard in some ways, because right now we're like still surrounded by the mass consciousness, but we will want to be able to like hold our frequency as we are kind of still around it, still in it. So off the grid, absolutely. Sovereign communities, absolutely. That's like a big thing that I'm focusing on right now, is really just starting to bring more people together to be able to help focus on like creating those sovereign communities, like physical communities as well. Yo, Uni, what's up? So man, the card that we're pulled, we've been diving deep into this. It's called Unplug from Mass Consciousness. So we're obviously talking about like things that are pretty relative. But yeah, you guys are seeing it right now. So I mean, like what you want to be able to do right now to, even quote Terence McKenna, is to reclaim your mind. Like culture is not your friend. Like once you realize that, that's when you get to be able to make the choice for yourself and to decide what's right for you, what's right for your soul. So will you willingly sell your soul? That's what they want you to do. But will you, and again, so use this as a reminder to be able to really check in with yourself and to be able to cultivate a deeper will that will help you with unplugging from the mass consciousness. Because the mass consciousness is something that can only be transformed from the inside. It happens through, again, a process of kind of like being able to weave ourselves within it, but at the same time balancing that where we're also creating something new, Buckminster Fuller style. Stop trying to save an old dying system, instead focus on something that's new. So we want to create something new. But for some of us, it's kind of like being a monk that kind of is like in the mountains and visits the village every now and then, where you kind of want to be able to have one foot in both worlds in some way. And then in the process of doing that, like that's where other people are seeing the courage of you leading by example. And they're just like, oh, and it sparks something in them. Like that's the revolution, is literally you being able to have the courage to be able to follow your will. And then thus in turn, it gives others the courage to be able to tap into more of their will as well. So, the mass consciousness of this world, it is going through an incredible transformation. And as much as we're unplugging from it, we're also unplugging from its influence of us, meaning that you can be unplugged from mass consciousness while still in mass consciousness, if that makes sense. So you basically kind of got this like awesome transmutation field around you where you can kind of like walk amongst the matrix but not be subjected by it, So like when the energy comes, rather than just bouncing it off you, it actually transmutes through your field and it reaches you as positive energy. So this is actually a really powerful thing that I've talked about before, and I'll just get close to wrapping this up. And again, for anybody who's tuned in right now, if anybody does want to contribute on PayPal or Patreon to keep the broadcast going, feel free to do that. Otherwise, this was going to be the last reading for today, and either or is totally fine. But I'll just reiterate this real quick, because again, I think it's important for us to be able to level up as these sacred warriors and guardians. And one of the ways that I remind people to do this is, instead of just thinking that you need to just like deflect everything, instead imagine that you have a field around you that's like this white field, and it actually transmutes. So when the quote unquote negative energy of mass consciousness, when it kind of like comes into you, let it hit that transmutation field, neutralize it, turn it into neutral energy, and then reach your heart in a way that you choose to use it as a tool for empowerment. You choose it to be able to say, like, what, like, I see what you're trying to do to me, but this is actually going to make me even stronger. Like, that was basically the agreement I made to myself, like way back, many months ago, is that the more they try to throw bullshit at us, the stronger I will choose to be, the stronger my resolve will become. Because at this point, I've already meditated on the future. I've already meditated on like how crazy they will get with this. And once you kind of like anticipate how far they will go with this, there's no surprises. So therefore, like, I think a lot of people, they've kind of had this will where they're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to resist. And then eventually they're just like, okay, now I'll bend. Because I didn't realize it was going to go this far. What we want to be able to do is anticipate it going way farther than it is right now, and to cultivate the will to be able to navigate that space, so that now when the little notches are kind of going along, it's no surprise. Like it's actually no surprise. It's just like, oh, like here we go. Like here's the next phase in the plan, so to speak. And once you're capable of doing that, again, you're capable of cultivating this will that will allow you to carry forward and carry through. And that's what's happening right now, literally on this earth right now, over the next few years. Like this is prophecy. Like I'm not one to like, you know, be like spewing Bible verses and stuff right now, but literally what's happening in the world right now is prophecy. Like or it's just incredible coincidence. It's one or the other, but like interpret it how you will. And I'm only saying this because there's only a few people tuning in right now. We are literally at the point where Apollyon has been released. We are in the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I'm not joking. Interpret it how you will. However, that also gives us foresight as to what's happening. We have the 4 horsemen: conquest, war, famine, death. Conquest, there's a whole discussion there. That's what's already happened. War, division amongst each other. That's what's already happened. We're basically in between war and famine right now. So we're between the 2nd and the 3rd horse right now. Famine followed by death. So again, I know that sounds a little morbid, but I only give it to you as a roadmap to be able to anticipate what's coming. So when you can anticipate what's coming, you can also allow yourself to drop into that wisdom within your soul to know that you are strong enough, to know that you came here to be able to help create the world beyond this one, to be able to help make it through this trial and tribulation, to be able to come out the other side, to be able to help birth the new earth. And that new earth, whoop, literally like is held within your heart. So Susie, thank you for the comments. Yeah, I'm vibing off your energy, Susie. You're like hyping me up a little bit here. So how do we get through it? Again, you know, through the cultivation of will, through surrounding yourself with great company, community, connecting with others digitally and physically, building sovereign community, creating like ways to be able to help support and sustain yourself, stocking up on essentials, stocking up on things you need. No, Susie is great. I love it. And yeah, you know, just being able to continue to kind of like hold that vibration while still like taking care of yourself like physically as well. So I don't have all the answers, quite frankly. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of have to like take it day by day and be very mindful of where you put your energy. And so when again it comes, like we're just talking about oracle cards here. That's all we're talking about, literally. So when it comes to unplugging from mass consciousness, again, you know, now is a time where we're unplugging from the impression that mass consciousness has on us while continuing to cultivate the new consciousness that is within us. So continue to cultivate the new consciousness that is within us by continuing to connect with those of us who cultivate that new consciousness already, who embody it already, who hold that vibration of like a higher frequency of like love and sovereignty. It's all about sovereignty. Like this is what we're moving towards. It's kind of weird because like the word government literally means mind control. Like, is it not, like now is it a little bit more obvious? It was literally the same thing as it was like 25 years ago or whatever. But now it's like way more obvious. So will they control your mind or will you control your mind? Will you choose how to feel or will they tell you how to feel? You know, so this is about the age of cultivating sovereignty. And that is really what it comes down to. So we'll move into the age where people will stop looking outside of them for external sources of governance, and they will start governing themselves from the connection to spirit on the inside, whatever that means to them. So anyways, Invocation, I'm going to wrap this up. And again, this will be our last reading for today. We didn't have any contributions on PayPal or Patreon yet. If anybody else would like to be able to sign up there, or even if you guys were just tuned into this and you were like, damn, that was some good inspiration. Thanks, Brendan, for the energy. Because like, honestly, I do this here because like yourself, I'm a participant within this transformation of consciousness. And like you, I'm here to be able to help lead the way. So one of the most important things that we can share with each other right now is morale, is inspiration, is having spaces like this, sacred spaces that we can tap back into and to be able to plug into it on a regular basis as community through ritual and routine and through ceremony that keeps our vibration high. That doesn't mean that we're like ignoring things, but it keeps us in a place where we're just like constantly cultivating momentum and focus and building towards the future. That's very, very important. So I thank you again, everyone, for being here. And again, if you guys are interested in connecting further, we do have our Discord server. I'm doing some upgrades there. We do have our Patreon membership. That's where you can connect with me further, connect with our private community membership events, and also have access to me for like one-on-one sessions at the $33 level and other stuff. But I'll talk more about that as we go. Let's just finish it up here with a quick little invocation. So if anything I said resonated with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. And again, I know there's not even a lot of people tuned in right now. So I was just like sharing this as if it was like to 1,000 people, even if there was just a few people. So, but hey, I'll share it again if need be. So invocation. Imagine you are reading this or hearing this spoken to yourself. Jeanette, thank you for joining in. Happy to see you again. Of my own free will, I now ask for spiritual intervention and divine protection through the guidance that loves me unconditionally. I now request the thorough and complete removal of any entity, thought form, belief system, cord attachment, or conditioning from my body, mind, and soul that does not resonate with the pure frequency of unconditional love. I ask for this process to happen with divine mercy, wisdom, and blessing. I call upon my own inner power and strength to listen for my truths and stand in the light of those truths at the perfect time and in the perfect way. With the loving and empowering assistance of my spiritual team, through divine grace and my own inner spiritual authority, so be it. May all beings be blessed by divine love. May all beings be happy and free. Beautiful. If you guys want to write out a little invocation, or sorry, a little affirmation based on that card, then go ahead and do that now. So a little affirmation based on the teaching of this card that came through to you. So I am continuing to cultivate the will of my spirit to be able to consciously unplug from the mass consciousness while maintaining awareness of it, to be able to reflect on my own needs, connect with others, and to be able to create the new world for the consciousness ahead of us and planting seeds for those along the way. Card number 7, unplug from mass consciousness. Super, super powerful card. Sierra, we just had like the dopest card. That was like so powerful. The card again, it was unplugging from mass consciousness. Super, super relative. So I like went off on a tangent there for a bit, but it was relative, right? Susie, was that relative? Did you guys enjoy that? So welcome again to those of you on all platforms. Sierra, thank you for joining in. Tara, thank you for joining in. Traveler, Maury, thank you for joining in. And yeah, again, team, there's a few other things that I'm working on today. We've done 2 readings so far. If anybody would like to be able to contribute on PayPal to be able to help fuel another reading, you guys are welcome to do that. If anyone would like to be able to join in on Patreon, you guys are also welcome to do that. And both, when you sign up, you'll help facilitate the next reading, and we'll keep the broadcast going for the team. But yeah, we've done a few readings so far. So if there's no new signups, that's totally fine. I got some other work that I'm working on today. And again, for our members who are tuned in right now, our Patreon members, we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle today at 4 p.m. EDT. I'm going to be working on some upgrades for the Discord this afternoon. And this Thursday, we have our Conscious Creator Soul Party for our Patreon members there as well. So awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone. Feel free to write any affirmation into the chat based on the message of the card that came through for you. Susie, thank you again for hanging out on the TikTok. Like, you've been there solid since we started the broadcast. So we'll hang out here just for a few more moments to give anyone a chance. So if anybody would like to be able to receive an on-air reading for themselves and the collective, go ahead and contribute on PayPal. Or if you want to sign up onto the Patreon, you can do that. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes. And we can do that next reading. And I'd love to get a new Patreon sign up while we're on air. It doesn't even have to be on air today. It can be another day. And again, when you guys sign up on the Patreon, there is the option to also be able to get a beautiful light guardian crystal. This one's actually one of the Lumerian ones. This is more like the high tier one. I have to make some regular ones. But when you sign up at the $33 level, you can get one of the one of the regular quartz light guardian crystals. And those are handmade tools that I make for you guys as gifts. The value of those is much higher, and you can get that as a gift, just pay shipping. And also at the $33 level on the Patreon, you guys can also get one-on-one sessions with me for one-on-one tarot, one-on-one conscious media coaching, and even just to like hang out and chat if that's what you prefer. So the $33 level is the best level on the Patreon. And again, when you guys sign up for the Patreon, you're not just supporting me. Think of it as an investment for yourself. And also the support from there is helping support myself, my partner Lacey, and our baby that is on the way. So we're working towards reaching 200 supporters on Patreon before the baby comes. That's my personal goal. And thank you guys again. We're currently at 106 on Patreon. And thank you to our recent Patreon supporters, to Kristen, to Kayla, to Christine, to MLG, and to Sunny as well. So if you guys are interested in signing up for the Patreon, feel free to check that out when it works for you. And thank you again, everyone, for your support on all forms. Again, even just by you guys tuning in and by you guys being able to either share this broadcast with your friends or simply just embodying the messages and the teachings here, like that is enough. So thank you again to everyone for your support in all manners and methods. So again, we'll just hang out here for a little bit. And Susie, appreciate you hanging out. Susie, I'm not sure. I know you mentioned you're going to check out the Patreon. If you feel like you want to check out the Patreon now, and you want to keep, if we do want to do one more reading, just let me know. And I'm okay. I'll just kind of like do like a little like intermission thing. And otherwise, I know you were mentioning you're going to check out the Patreon later. So that's totally fine in there as well. There are higher levels on the Patreon. Not many people are signed up for the higher levels. Like I don't really plug them in the same way. But at the higher levels, you can also get like the Lemurian Light Guardian crystals as like a bonus. And the Lemurian Light Guardian crystals are like pretty like high tier as well. So but you can also order those through my item shop if that's something you're interested in. I'll put the shop in the Discord there as well. So cool. So I'll just hang out here for a bit. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We've got probably about like 6 people. And Maury, for I believe it's probably your first time tuned in. When we do these readings, every reading that we do is for the collective. So if you were here earlier, all the readings that we did were for whoever was tuned in. So if you ever catch me here live again, I'm here live Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT. So people don't even have to like ask for a reading, not quite in the way that maybe sometimes happens on other broadcasts. So if you happen to be tuned in, then the reading is there for you as well. And then when you contribute on PayPal or Patreon, then what we'll do is we do a little meditation, and then that person, they synchronistically help pull the card. So it's like specific to them being able to help queue it up, but every single reading that we do is for the collective. So it's pretty cool. We've been doing this for quite a while and it has a pretty good flow to it. So last call on any contributions for PayPal or Patreon, and then we'll get close to wrapping it up unless there is anybody else who would like to be able to sign up to be able to get a reading on air. And thank you guys again for your support in all forms. So yeah, happy to be able to have you guys here. In the coming weeks, we will also be having for members, for our Patreon members, which again is the $11 monthly contribution, we will be having another Conscious Media Creator Dojo. So that's pretty cool. And we will also be doing a Flowetry workshop coming up. So that's pretty cool as well. And that's where we get to practice like the freestyle poetry that you guys see me do when I'm like pulling cards. So cool. Awesome. Maury, where did you tune in from? I'm just curious, and welcome. Thank you for joining for your first time as well. I'm curious if did some people join in from Facebook, I wonder, because I don't see the Facebook chat, but I'm gonna see if I can look at it right now. Actually, can I look at it right now? Might be able to. Go here. Sure if I can see it properly. Cool. All right, team. Well, again, we're just chilling out here. If there is anybody that would like to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, we'll do another reading. But if not for today, then that's totally fine. And I know a few of you were talking about checking out the Patreon a little bit later today, so that's totally cool too. So how do I see my live studio? I'm trying to see if I can see my Facebook chat. Okay. That out. Cool. So at this point, I'm just kind of chilling out here. I'm pretty quiet, but again, I'll keep an eye open. If there are any new contributions, I'll let you guys know, and we'll get into another reading. I'm more than happy to be able to do another reading. However, if there's no new signups for today, that's totally cool. We'll wrap it up, and we'll be back here again. And again, I'm live here Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT. So if you guys haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. Awesome. Thank you again. Hey, Taro Bay. Awesome name. I'll have to give you a follow back. Thank you again for adding your follow on Twitch. Always excited to be able to connect with other tarot enthusiasts. Cool. Oh, awesome. Cool. Tarot Bay, I'm following you back. Actually, I'll just check to see who's live on tarot right now as well. I'll see if I can do a raid before I get close to wrapping it up. So if we are, oh, Granny Savage is live. If we are close to wrapping it up, we'll finish it off with a raid on Twitch as well. So it's a hey, Infinite Energy. Okay, Susie is working on setting up the Patreon, so I think we are going to do another reading. So for those of you tuned in, stand by. Once Susie has got things set up on Patreon, she's just on TikTok right now, letting me know. Then we'll do another reading. And Susie, thank you again so much for joining in with us today, and excited to be able to see you one more reading that we get into. I'm just checking out, see who else is live on Twitch right now. Curio Wizard is live, already following them. And Granny Savage is live. What is this a preview for? What game is this? Weird. Oh, it's for a PlayStation. I don't even know what game that is. Who else is live? Allison is live. Lua is live. Leo is live. Cool. It's quite a few people live on tarot today. Well, that's awesome. Sweet. For those of you tuned in on Twitch, we're just about to get into another reading. Our friend Susie is just signing up for the Patreon. For those of you who are here, the way how we do this, we have multiple decks where people can contribute on PayPal or Patreon and then receive an on-air reading by them helping choose a card from the deck. And the way how we do that is we do like a little meditation. I guide you guys through it. And then when you guys type now into the chat, we split the deck. So it's like a cool way of actually like using your intuition and your synchronicity to be able to like bring forth the reading for the team. And every reading we do is for whoever is like helping facilitate, but also for the collective. And again, for those of you who may be new, I actually help facilitate a community of Lightworkers, a community of conscious creators. And I've been doing that since like 2009. So, and yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to have new people tune in on Twitch. So yeah, Tarot Bay, just seeing your comment on Twitch, doing pretty good. We had 2 readings this morning. The one that we just had, actually, man, like if you guys had tuned in a few minutes ago, you would have seen it. It was all about unplugging from mass consciousness, and that was like super relative. And the other one that we had was one all about being able to like connect with like the revolutionaries before us. So that was pretty cool. So a lot of the readings that we do here within our community are like about being able to help support people as light workers. So being able to help support people as conscious creators and leaders. So Tarot Bay, we actually have, so what I help facilitate, we have a Patreon membership. And within that, there's actually like many of us in it that are tarot readers, tarot broadcasters. And we actually help support people in creating conscious content and facilitating events, facilitating broadcasts, and even helping cross promote their content with other people in our community. So I'll just post a link for the Patreon that I have there, and you guys are welcome to check it out. See it as an invitation. If you guys are like, man, like I'd love to be able to connect more with the team of conscious creators, feel free to do that. Today we actually have our membership event for our conscious creator collaboration circle, and then on Thursday we have our conscious creator soul party, which is going to literally be us like hanging out and getting to be able to introduce some of the new members to each other. We've had a few new members join in through the past week, so super excited to be able to have more people join in. Again, the decks that we use through the broadcast that I do here are the Lightworker Oracle deck, the Hero's Journey deck, the Sacred Spirit deck, these ones are oracles, or the Ananda Tarot deck, which is more the traditional tarot deck. So Susie is just setting up her Patreon right now, and again, if there is anybody who did want to contribute, even just a contribution on PayPal, feel free to do that. You guys can always contribute $5, you can contribute a little bit more. And again, the support building on Patreon, that's for you guys to be able to help receive support in return by connecting into our team. It also gets you access to conscious media creation coaching. And again, I'll just plug it real quick. If you guys sign up at the $33 level, you guys can also get one of the complimentary Light Guardian crystals that I make. And those are available also on my shop. But again, if you sign up at the $33 level, you can get one of those as a gift, just pay shipping. And you also get one-on-one monthly coaching with me, or a one-on-one tarot session, video call with me, or even just like hang out together with me. So, but again, I've been creating conscious media for like 10 years. I've done like hundreds of like guided meditations, hundreds of podcasts. If you guys even want to check us out on Spotify Paradigm Shift Radio, and you can see like what it is that we got going on there, and my YouTube channel. I've like made like full-length movies. Like I'm also an award-winning Canadian filmmaker, and we've also got like some full-length movies on my YouTube of like some conscious festivals that I've been to, which is really cool. There's one on there that's it's a two-parter called Journey to Lucidity, and it's all about a transformational festival in California. So it's really cool. Anyways, I'm just chit-chatting with you guys. I'm just keeping an eye. Susie's just working on signing up for the Patreon. Once she's done that, then she's going to choose the deck. We'll get into our next reading. So I'm excited to be able to dive into another reading for you guys. For those of you newly on Twitch, if you guys haven't already yet, again, feel free to either just stick around. You guys can come back in a couple minutes. You guys can also check out my Instagram and my YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm live here Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. And yeah, it's a pretty cool community. So if you guys have any questions, just feel free to direct message me. So Tarot Bay, if that's something you're interested in, even if you just direct message me on Instagram, I'm more than happy to be able to help answer any questions you may have. So yes, cool. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm just going to go use the bathroom right back. I'll be right back. And I'll be back here in okay. Susie, is your name the same on Susie? The link for my Patreon is in my profile link. So just to confirm, and no worries on needing the extra instructions. So Susie, go back to my profile, click on my profile link, and then from there it will show up in like my it goes to my beacons page. Beacons is where it lists like a bunch of links. The second one from the top is my Patreon. So it says like join my Patreon membership. Click that. That will link you to my Patreon. And then just like open that in your browser on your phone. Let me know if that makes sense. Just be like, oh, okay, I got it. Because I think you were like looking for my name on Patreon. So sorry, I might not have confirmed that for you. So okay, let me just go do that quick bathroom break. Okay, Susie's signing up for the Patreon, so we're gonna do that. And Tarot Bay, thank you for joining in. And yeah, always excited to be able to help support and connect with other fellow tarot enthusiasts and especially tarot broadcasters. So again, I'll be right back, just gonna use a bathroom, and then we'll be diving into another reading momentarily. And again, I'll keep my eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. So for those of you, while I'm gone, feel free to check out the Patreon in the meantime, if you guys want to be able to just learn a little bit more about the work I do, and also what it is that we got going in the community. And yeah, see which tier resonates with you, and always excited to be able to connect with more awesome people such as yourself. So I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you again to those of you who are still tuned in on Twitch. And yeah, Susie's just signing up for the Patreon, so we're gonna get things going there. And I'm just trying to think, what can I do to entertain you in the meantime? Oh, I'll show you this thing. So this thing isn't even still work. Here, I'll show you this little like wizard thing. This thing isn't even for sale. This thing's just like a cool item that I made. It's like a little like sphere, and you can like rotate it at the top. And I put like, it's like a version of one of my light guardian crystals, and I put like a little light in it as well, so it like lights up. I don't know if you can see, I'll just turn it off here. Yeah, there we go. And like, I don't know, I like made it as just like this cool thing. I like made one for my girlfriend too. It's like this little like wizard, like pew pew pew, and you can like kind of like meditate on it, and it's got like a star map on it as well. Oh, you can't really see from the light there. I'm just showing it off. These are just my toys. So, but yeah, I hand make those. The light guardian crystals, they come in a variety of different styles in terms of just like the colors and the sizes and stuff like that. But you can see here, there's another one there. Man, like honestly, like when you guys see these things, like what do you think of? Like what does it remind you of? What place does it remind you of, so to speak? Because I'll tell you in a second where the inspiration's from, so to speak. So yeah, and you can also use them as kind of like fidget spinners as well. So that's what I love to use them as. I love to just be able to kind of like hold them in my hand, just kind of like flip them around. And you can use them for like dream practice. I do have I do have some wire wraps that I have floating around. These ones aren't even on my shop. They're just like sitting on my desk. Beautiful Lemurian little mini quartz there. And again, I love being able to like just kind of like hold those in your hand, and then you can just kind of like hold that while like going to sleep, and you can actually like practice like bringing it with you into the dream time. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if anybody's interested in even just like ordering one of those, it's not on my shop, but feel free to send me a direct message. I make them for you guys. So okay, all right, Susie's still just getting things set up, so we'll just hang around here for a second. Again, if you guys are on Twitch, if you guys want to like leave and come back, that's totally fine. There's a lot of other tarot creators on right now. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on who's on right now. Oh, Witchy Babe is on right now. And follow them. It's cool being able to see, again, just kind of like the styles of the other tarot broadcasters. So cool. I've been doing tarot for quite a while, but this is a new account that I made for Twitch. So I was actually broadcasting on another account, but I was doing like so many different types of broadcasts that it just like kind of became too much. Whereas like for this one, I basically just keep it to tarot. And then every now and then I play seven Days to Die, which is a video zombie apocalypse video game. So cool. Awesome. All right. Kelly just signed up onto the Patreon, and I don't believe Kelly is not Susie, so I think, unless I'm mistaken here, but I think that actually may be a new sign up. So Kelly, thank you so much for adding your support onto the Patreon. We'll give it a few moments here just to be able to confirm where Kelly is in the chat. So Kelly, if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know, and we will get right into this next reading. And then if Susie and Kelly are two different people, then that means we will have another reading coming up shortly after this. And I'm okay with, again, hanging out here with you guys as long as my throat chakra allows me to be able to do so. And thank you guys so much again for your support. Again, this isn't just about tarot. This is about building a team, building a community, helping more people come together. And again, the community that we've been building over the years is a really, really, really cool community. And so if you're looking to be able to connect with like other conscious creators, and this is definitely an opportunity for you. Cool. Susie, did you sign up with the username Kelly on Patreon, just to confirm that's you? Because I'm like, is Kelly Susie? Is that what's happening there? So cool. And I assume it is, seeing your comment there. So, and Susie, thank you so much for adding your support there. Yes, perfect. All right. So with that said, that gives us another Patreon sign up. So we're currently at about 107 on Patreon, 107-ish. There's kind of like a slight fluctuation there as well, but we're almost at 111 on Patreon. So thank you guys so much for your support. Susie, I'm not sure if you did want to be able to join in on YouTube. Do you prefer to stay on TikTok? Do you prefer that? Because if you're on YouTube, then like just that the audio quality is better. And again, that would involve clicking the link on my profile, and then the top link is the YouTube link. But if you don't have a YouTube account, then you would have to create one. So if you're already here, that's fine too. So would you like to just do it off TikTok? And if so, we'll get you to be able to choose which deck you would like to be able to use. And yeah, Susie, if you're around for the upcoming events, I look forward to being able to hang out with you. So cool. Okay, Susie's going to jump over to YouTube. So Susie will jump over to YouTube. We'll do that real quick, and then we'll get things all set up here and ready to go. So cool. Awesome. Oh, I forgot to post in the Discord. I'll just do that real quick as Susie's switching over. 1 second here. And Susie, once you're in the YouTube, you can leave a comment there. So. Okay. All right, so let's get ready to do this. Perfect. All right. Thank you again to those of you on Twitch. Honestly, the fact that there's like 4 people tuned out on Twitch is very humbling, especially considering that we haven't been doing a reading for the past several minutes. So, but yes, Tarot Bay, thank you so much for joining in. And yeah, let's get ready to move into this next reading. Just waiting to be able to confirm from Susie. Susie, we'll see. Susie may end up having to jump back onto Twitch. Just depends whether or not she has a YouTube profile and stuff. So. Susie, if you're still tuned in on TikTok, that's fine. We can just do TikTok. Like, you're already here. So if it's an issue going to YouTube, then let's just do TikTok. So let me know if that works for you, Susie, and then we'll initiate choosing which deck we would like to be able to work with. So, and should I put on some relaxing Zelda music? I feel like I should. I usually do. I usually have it on in the background. Man, I like live and breathe Zelda music. It's interesting because like people are just like, they're like, you look like Zelda, or not Zelda. Look like Link. Sometimes. I mean, I don't know. A handsome fellow with hair and blue eyes and an elf ear. So that qualifies enough. So, all right. Susie, if you're still tuned in on Twitch, just go ahead and let me know. We can just do it on Twitch. That's totally fine. So, all right. How many people do we got tuned in? Yeah. Okay. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we're just about to get into our next reading. Susie's just getting set up on YouTube, and once she is ready, we will initiate the next reading. And okay, Susie, we'll just stay on Twitch, so you can turn off the YouTube. It's okay. Which is fine. Sorry, TikTok. We'll stay on TikTok. That's fine. So, Susie, let me know for sure if that's okay with you. And Susie, what I would invite you to do is to be able to... Okay, cool. We're good. All right. And thank you again, Susie. For everybody here, give a nice thank you to Susie if you guys are on the other platforms. So, Susie, inviting you to be able to choose which deck do you want to be able to work with today. So we have the Lightworker Oracle deck, the Hero's Journey deck, the Sacred Spirit deck, or the Ananda Tarot deck, which is like more traditional tarot. Which of those do you feel most excited to work with? So, cool. Thank you, Jeanette. Appreciate you guys hanging out on TikTok and Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. All platforms. So, cool. Sacred Spirit. Great choice. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. If you guys feel like sharing this broadcast, even if you like screenshot, this is one way to do it. You could like screenshot this, post it to your Instagram stories, and then tag me at Mystic Spider-Man if you guys want to do it that way. So, all right, Susie, the way how we're going to do this, we're going to do a little meditation and inviting everybody to be able to join us in this little meditation. And within this meditation, we'll drop you into your heart space, just connecting with our breath. And then from there, we'll collectively set the intention, show us what we need to see. And then Susie, I'll just walk you through this. And then at that point, I'll just invite you to be able to connect with your breath and listen to your intuition. And then you're going to take your time, and then you're going to type now in the chat. When you type now in the chat, that's when I'll split the deck. So I'll be like charging up the deck. So it'll be the moment that you say now where I'll like split the deck. And so it's like your moment, your intuition that will pull the card for us. So is that cool, Susie? And if so, just let us know if you're ready. You can just type ready into the chat, and then we'll move right into this. And it's pretty straightforward. So cool. All right, Susie saying okay. So cool. All right, Susie is ready then. So cool. All right, awesome. Okay, everyone. So let's move into this again. For everybody who's here, this reading is for everyone. Susie's going to help facilitate it for all the light workers and shifters out there. thank you so much for joining in and just inviting everyone to be able to join us in this meditation. And I'll be speaking to Susie in the collective, and yeah, excited to see what message we have coming through for us today. So this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any new signups on PayPal or Patreon. So thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. Morphic, what's up? And here we go, just in time. So for everybody here, when you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And as you do, just taking this opportunity to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. And soft, gentle exhales. And as you breathe here, just allowing yourself to arrive into this present moment. Just bring yourself into your heart space. And in this moment, just allowing yourself to be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for this space, for this community, for the messages we are here to receive. And with gratitude in your heart, for Susie and for everybody here, focusing your attention on the intention, show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, the team. So focusing on this intention, Susie and everyone, speak this intention with your heart, speak with your mind, speak with your words, speak with your soul. Allowing ourselves to imagine this beautiful beam of light shooting up into the heavens, bringing down this ancient wisdom of the stars. Susie, continuing to listen to your intuition, take a moment here to be able to continue to connect with your breath. Take your time, and when you're ready, type now into the chat and we will split the deck and pull the card. For everybody else, gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around us, and I'll charge the deck here and we'll pull the card on Susie's cue. And so as the magic continues to unfold, as we take these steps towards our ultimate goal, I thank each and every single one of you for being on this path as we continue this journey that will always last. As we spiral up through these clouds of love, may we continue to bring forth the wisdom as below, so above. And so with an open heart and an open mind, we will pull forth the wisdom of the cards to see what we shall find. Thank you, Susie. Beautifully done. All right. The card that we have pulled. Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow. This is a very, very special card to be able to pull. So the card that we have pulled, very relative to actually what we were just talking about previously, Susie. The card that we have pulled for everybody here, and for Susie, who just contributed on the Patreon, is card number 23. Lead the way. Light your own path. Card number 23. Lead the way. Light your own path. So what we're going to do here, we're going to open up the book. I'm going to explain just some of the visual image of the card, and then we will read from the book, and then we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and I'll channel some additional inspiration here. Now, I say this is not only just a beautiful card, but a very special card. It's also the card on the cover of the book. So bonus points there. And again, the previous cards that we got, definitely relating to this theme. A lot of themes of leadership today. So let's get ready to dive a little bit deeper. For those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to tune in on YouTube. Links in my profile. And for those of you on all platforms, thank you guys so much. And just explaining the visual image of the card. So again, I'm kind of talking to Susie's on my TikTok, which is next to my computer. So for those of you on Twitch, that's why I'm kind of between two cameras for this one. Sometimes it's more just on this one. So visually explaining this beautiful image here of the card. And again, this is artwork by our friend Lewis Dyer. I'm actually friends with the guy whose artwork is featured in this deck. So beautiful image of this sacred deer, and I'll just kind of hold it up so Susie can see it here. This beautiful image of this multicolored kind of rainbow spirit deer with this beautiful star Merkaba floating above in between the antlers, and its antlers are these majestic kind of spirit antlers as well, and walking across this landscape that's kind of coated in this beautiful crystalline rainbow structure. And just an absolutely beautiful card. Again, I'm just explaining the visual image there. And also you can kind of see where the deer is stepping. It's kind of growing flowers as well. Who here has seen Princess Mononoke? Very much inspired by the forest spirit, if you guys are familiar with that. So All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper. For those of you on all platforms, thank you guys so much for joining in. Again, this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any new contributions on Patreon or PayPal. So thank you so much, and allow yourself to just open your heart to receive the wisdom of this card. If you're here, this message is for you. If anything we say resonates, go ahead and drop an 1111 in the chat. So allow yourself to just meditate as we read this card. And Vantage GT, thank you for tuning in on Twitch. Here we go. Card number 23. Lead the way. Listen to yourself. Light your own path. The faithful deer is a creature of deep sensitivity, with heightened senses and a strong fight or flight response. The deer is always alert to the environment around them. The swiftness in response to potential threats allows them to escape any danger by running away at the slightest indication. The sensitivity and readiness of the deer requires a symbiotic relationship of trust of the physical senses. We are conditioned through various stages of life to behave and act a certain way, to please family, teachers, work colleagues, and friends, and allowing others to dictate terms of our emotional well-being. Now is the time to allow yourself what it is that you truly want in your life right now. Previously, you may have been or appeared naive and innocent. This has created vulnerable situations where you have not been able to fully comprehend your environment or the true intentions of others. In life, facing potential threats or confrontations is necessary and something we can't always avoid. Like the deer, you may instinctively react, choosing to run away from your problems. However, this will not help the situation improve. Right now, you are being encouraged simply to connect. You're being encouraged to connect strongly to your basic instincts. What does your gut tell you about this situation? Be alert. Currently, personality conflicts are strong and have the potential to cause emotional distress. You must decide how you choose your approach. Hey, Allison. Do you need to face this person, or can you remove yourself from the situation peacefully? Like the deer totem, you may need to hold a torch for others to be guided down positive paths or in a direction that was previously hidden. It is important to assist others when they do not have a light to guide them. Instinctively, you must learn to accept the changes in life and run peacefully with the flow of the universe. Shadow aspect, authoritarian approaches, unable to share knowledge, avoiding conflict. Sacred crystal, Super 7. Angel assistance, Archangel Nathaniel, determination, willpower, perseverance. Affirmation, I choose my own way forward. I am a guiding light. Beautiful. All right, let's dive a little bit deeper. Good afternoon to those of you tuned in on Twitch as well. If it's your first time, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to the new subs. Thank you to Vantage. Thank you to Tarot Bay. And yeah, we're going to do here, excuse me. We're going to dive a little bit deeper with each reading that we do. We read from the deck. And then one of my gifts, one of my talents is just to really be able to tap into like the infinite consciousness of my own heart space. And I'll just kind of like continue to bring forth some more inspiration based on the messages and teachings of this card. So if it's your first time here, allow yourself to just like talk about this with us, to receive any of the wisdom and the inspiration. And yeah, here to be able to help support and inspire you guys as the fellow light workers that each of you are. Allison, Susie, I know Susie, you were already resonating with this. You're like, whoa, like this is on point. Like this is me. So happy to be able to hear that. And every time we do a reading, like it's always like every time, like everyone's just like, whoa, this is on point. So you guys set that intention. So, okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this card. What a beautiful, beautiful card to be able to share. And of course, like a big theme that we talk about here within this community, within these broadcasts is about being able to lead the way. But by leading the way, again, that's going to look different in different circumstances. And I think one of the most important things of this card is really encouraging us to be able to understand that true leadership is being able to make the choice to be able to trust our own instincts, being able to make the choice to be able to develop a deeper connection between ourselves and spirit. I actually listened to a podcast recently and it was incredibly interesting. It was about a tribe in Malaysia who basically had like limited connection to other societies and things outside of their tribe in the forest and in the jungle. And yet this tribe lived like purely instinctually off of like the present moment. And it was so incredibly beautiful to be able to hear, because like for them, like for example, there would be a guy that would come and visit them. And I'm just sharing this as a quick example, but it'll blow your mind. There was a fellow who went to visit this tribe, and he would go and visit the tribe, but he wouldn't always know where the tribe was because they were nomadic. So he would go into the jungle. And then as he would go into the jungle, someone from the tribe would be like waiting for him on the path. And then they would take him back to the jungle. And then when he asked this person, like, how did you know where to find me? Like, I didn't tell you guys that I was coming. How did you know that I was coming? And then this person from the tribe basically said, like, I didn't know. All I did was listen to my instinct, and my instinct told me that day, oh, go sit by the path. And then once you arrived, then I knew why I was sitting on the path. And so for them in this moment, it's not even so much just kind of like this planning ahead, but it's being able to really just deepen into the instincts that our soul is speaking to us. And one of the things that's important when it comes to leading the way is also being able to trust that where we are now is actually connected to the future, kind of like this like golden thread, this golden path. And I talk a lot about this, where when you're connecting into your heart space, when you're connecting into your heart chakra, you can actually get into a place within your heart where you can listen to your intuition, and your intuition actually becomes like this guiding force that will lead you from where you are now into the futures that have yet to fully manifest but are still very much real. So it's very much kind of like this way where, when you get good at being able to listen to your intuition, you also get good at being able to discern the thoughts and the consciousness that you are kind of filtering through on a day-to-day basis, especially when you are in the circumstances that we're in right now, which the previous card was talking about. And shout out to those of you on TikTok, Soul Walks, thank you for joining in as well. Talking about the previous card that we had, it was all about unplugging from mass consciousness. So in the case of, being able to lead our own way, it's also being able to discern, what thoughts we are actually thinking. Are they our thoughts, or are they thoughts that have been implanted into us? Are they thoughts that have been conditioned into us? So one of the first steps towards being able to lead our own way is to be able to develop discernment towards the thoughts that we are actually thinking and the paradigms that we are actually living. And so again, with this card, much like the deer in the way how it lives within nature, it is a very present being. I think when you look at animals, you'll see that as humans, we have this extra neocortex where we can kind of begin to think outside of the present moment. However, with the animals, most animals, they literally live purely in the present moment. And yet for them, that ability to be able to live purely in the present moment is actually what allows them to be able to navigate certain circumstances, especially when they're in danger. So we need to be able to develop a deeper rhythm, a deeper relationship with our heart wisdom. So when there are certain circumstances where, our gut is kind of telling us, and just be like, does this feel a little off? Does this feel like, maybe I need to be able to shift out of this situation? Listen to that. Pay attention to that. That's very, very important, because there's something there that your soul is basically trying to be able to say to you. And so oftentimes, when we're kind of disconnected from our own spirit, it will try to whisper to us, but it won't fully comprehend. It won't actually like make its way into the frontal cortex. It won't actually be able to be something where we'll be able to see it as like an intuitive wisdom that is worth paying attention to. So when we listen to, like, I'll basically give you an example that I'm sure every single person here can relate to. When you don't listen to your intuition, meaning if your intuition says like, don't go to that party tonight, or like, don't go to this circumstance or something like that, like it's actually trying to give you that option, because it's like, hey, I can see the future. There's something here. You're not even fully supposed to know what it means, but I'm trying to let you know. And then even in those moments, we still have that free will. However, this is the thing, like our free will is the free will to ignore our intuition. It's kind of weird, right? Like our intuition is there to guide us, but we have the free will to ignore or to put aside our intuition. And this is what I was saying, is that when you usually ignore your intuition, usually what ends up happening is that you'll put yourself in a circumstance, not all the time, you'll put yourself in a circumstance where there will usually be some kind of lesson where it will kind of like put you back a couple steps. Like it will kind of like slow things down. It will just be like, oh, like detour, like let's take a quick side quest to be able to make sure that you really learn this lesson before you progress forward, sort of thing. Whereas when you are listening to your intuition, you'll find that there's often a lot more synchronization with the law of efficiency, a lot more of the grace. So that's usually what happens when you don't listen to your intuition. You usually find yourself in a circumstance where you're just like, oh shit, like there's a lesson that came out of this. And sometimes the lesson is, next time I'm going to pay attention a little bit more to my intuition. Like sometimes that's what the lesson is. So even still, your soul is it's there to be able to help guide you and to help instruct you, because your soul, your spirit, your intuition, whatever you want to call it, it's incredibly intelligent. And from my perspective, that intelligence comes from the fact that it is actually tapped into the future. Like the future this is like, I'll explain it very simple. The future ripples into the present moment, and it ripples into the present moment in ways that we process and feel through our chakras as intuition. And you'll notice that there's actually different intuitions that actually come through the different chakras. So the heart chakra is oftentimes the intuition that can be something related to like excitement and inspiration, being like, oh, like I really want to be an artist someday, or I really want to be able to like make a new song, or I really want to be able to like work on this project. Or again, it's like, oh, I feel really called to be able to connect with this person. I barely even know them, but for some reason my heart's telling me to be able to like follow through with this. That can be like this ripple effect from the future. However, the future can also ripple through the other chakras. It can ripple through our throat. Oftentimes when it ripples through our throat, that's when we find ourselves kind of in a moment where we're saying things without us even fully having to think about it. Even right now in this present moment, I've been doing this enough that I'm kind of like used to being into this flow state where even right now, as with many of us in most circumstances, I'm not thinking too much about being able to decide what I'm going to say. I'm feeling the process of what I am saying moving through me, and I am being able to practice the process of removing the blockages and allowing that expression to come through. So that can kind of happen through our intuition sometimes, where it's like, like you're doing flowetry, or you're singing a song, or there's something you want to say, something that's coming through you and you can feel it. And then again, I'll just go through real quick. The other intuition, the foresight, the brow chakra, that intuition can be the intuition that comes through us through vision. And again, I'm saying this because this is all about, again, not just connecting to your gut, but connecting to this idea that the wisdom that you carry within inside of you that is going to help you lead the way is also the wisdom of being able to help follow the intuition that already is ahead of you. So the brow chakra is again about being able to kind of like receive the visions, so you kind of sometimes will have visions of things that have yet to come. That will usually come through like the brow or the crown. And then what we identify, even what it says right here as the gut feeling, that's like literally like your solar chakra. Like your solar chakra like literally is the gut feeling. So like when you kind of have like that, ooh, don't go this way, like, oh, watch out, like don't, like careful when you step off the curb and then like a truck goes by real quick. That's like literally like your gut feeling basically being able to help protect you from certain circumstances. But again, as much as sometimes it can help protect you, it can also help propel you as well. And then you got your sacral and also your root chakra. And again, the root chakra, they all kind of interrelate. It wouldn't even just be one. It would be like multiple sometimes. It's like multiple kind of pieces of information coming through multiple chakras. Again, if this makes sense for you guys, drop an 1111. Because honestly, like, I don't really hear a lot of other people talking about it this way. Like, I just remember interpreting it like this like years ago, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. To me, it makes sense that the chakras are these portals of energy, and through these chakra points, we actually receive information from the future, which helps us process current circumstances and allows us to be able to navigate things with more grace. And it helps us lead. It helps us lead. So again, moving into this place of leadership, listen to yourself, light your own path. this is very, very important, because when we listen into our own heart, we're also listening into the heart of the collective. So what does the heart of the collective want right now? So this is, again, where right now, as many of us are unplugging from mass consciousness, we're also being able to be able to plug back into the desire of spirit itself, the desire of the collective consciousness that is shifting into this higher vibration. So when you're listening to yourself, there's like the little you, who's like your ego, your physical vessel, and then there's the bigger you. So what does it mean for us to lead the way when we listen to the collective bigger us? And for me, this is where, I always love going back to that very simple question, and I'll share it with you guys, and I hope honestly, this could change your life literally just by hearing this, and I hope you carry it with you, is this very simple question of being able to reflect on what is needed. What is needed? What is needed for myself? What is needed for the collective? If you reflect on that question every now and then and allow yourself to practice going into your heart space, something will come through. An answer will come through. Insight will come through. And you can use this on a little scale, or you can use it on a big scale. Get in the habit, like I'm encouraging guys to do this, and I hope you do. Get in the habit where throughout the day, you just kind of check in with yourself and be like, what do I need? And sometimes if you listen to your body, there's the obvious things. Your body will be like, oh, like I need food, or I need water, or I need a nap, or I need to spend time in nature, or I need to work on my art, or I need to talk with a friend. The wisdom's there. The wisdom is always there. So we need to not only be able to trust the wisdom, but to be able to activate the process of leadership where we are in that place of trust, and then allow that wisdom to be able to develop as a relationship, where suddenly it's not kind of like, oh, sometimes I trust my intuition and sometimes I don't trust my intuition. It's like, develop that healthy relationship where that line of communication is much more consistent, and then your intuition will be something that you actually access as a natural part of your being. It's not something where it's like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. It's like it's a part of your being. It's literally like yourself, the bigger self, the intuition, the you that's outside of this present moment, that is still a part of this present moment, is like, it's who you are. Like that's literally who you are. That this is like a natural part of being a multidimensional being. And when you do this, it really helps you kind of navigate this world in a way where you can see from those higher perspectives. You can see with discernment. You can see through bullshit. You can see what's needed. You can feel into your heart with inspiration, and you can trust the intuition as it's guiding you towards these futures, and thus in turn helping lead others along the way. Yo, Cammy, what's up? We're deep into this right now. Seeing your guys' comments on TikTok, I'm literally not able to read all the comments on TikToks because you guys are just like vibing with this one so hard. I learned to do this recently, and after started meditating every day, trusting your wisdom, definitely very healthy. Nib, you know it, absolutely. Team, I will just say real quick, for those of you enjoying this broadcast on all platforms, this will be our last reading for today, unless there's any new contributions on PayPal or Patreon. Quick reminder, if you guys want to check those out, links in my profile. There will be an intermission after this reading, and I'll talk more about that as we go. But diving into this card, let's just talk on it for a little bit longer. So again, when we listen to ourselves, we are also being able to step into a new level of freedom. And I think this is very, very important. And this is where for me and for Susie and for anybody listening to this card is a card that really reflects the energy of freedom, of sovereignty, of being that free spirit, of being that deer that's kind of like running into the woods. When you look at deer in the forest, when they're just in the natural habitat, what do you feel? Like when you see one, like what do you feel when you look at it? I know for me, it's always like, freaking magical, man. Like, because deer are just like these, like, yeah, like you look at them, and to me, like, they carry with them this vibration of freedom. They carry with them this vibration of just like being very tapped in, and they're like so peaceful, and they're just like these beautiful ambassadors. So this card is a card that really gives us the opportunity to be able to reflect on our personal relationship with freedom. Are we listening to ourselves, or are others dictating how we should be living? Are others telling us like, you shouldn't be trusting your intuition? Don't listen to your intuition. Listen to us. Listen to daddy government, like listen to all of these like external sources trying to impose their will on you. A lot of people are experiencing that right now. And how far is that going to get them? It might help them for a bit, but it's not actually going to liberate their consciousness. It's not going to help them move into a new conscious place of sovereignty. We need to be able to develop this deeper resonance of freedom that comes from being able to cultivate our connection with spirit, and trusting in that connection with spirit, and then celebrating the freedom that will naturally come through that process, that allows us to not only to embody that freedom, but also allows us to be able to share it as well, and allows us to be able to move more into this place where we're able to move into that resonance of the law of grace, the law of efficiency, where you're not necessarily avoiding conflicts, but you are able to anticipate and avoid unnecessary conflict. Like, that's the difference between some people, right? Do you know that person that for the love of them, they just can't avoid conflict? Even when it's not necessary, they're just like, they'll go out of their way to be like, hold on, I have to go make a scene. Like, it's just like, do you really? Like, is this necessary? You've done this last week too. You don't have to do that. You know, you can listen back. Cammy jumping in on double platforms here. My goodness, Cammy. You can listen to your intuition and really allow yourself to make a higher wisdom, to choose from a higher place of consciousness, and to be able to identify, you know, how much of my attention do I need to give this certain situation? There will be situations where, again, you know, there will be conflict, there will be challenges. And if your intuition is saying to you, this is something that deserves my attention, this is something that I need to be able to send my love to, and this is also something that I could potentially assist with and potentially transform, then pay attention to that. But if your intuition is just saying, like, you know what, my focus right now is so incredibly valuable that I'm not going to get sucked into your bullshit drama, like, that for me is like, I've been living like that for a while, and honestly, like, it's been working quite well for me. Where some people, you know, like Facebook and all this, they're just fucking getting into drama all the time, and I'm just like, you guys must have nothing better to do. You're become addicted to this drama machine that you just keep feeding into. And so, you know, your peace and your focus is the key to your freedom. It doesn't mean that you will literally be able to never experience conflict again, but it will give you the opportunity to really be able to decide where and when you are investing your focus and your energy. And you make that choice consciously, opposed to just reacting to it. Because when you react to it, you're actually not living from a place of freedom. You're actually living as like a conditioned programming that's been built into you, like a subconscious programming that is probably like something else that it's been imposed in on you. And there's probably some deeper healing there. Go connect with Cammy or Lauren. They can help you with releasing past trauma. There are a couple members in our community there as well. And again, you know, when you begin to liberate yourself from the deeper animal instinct of our like deep programmed consciousness, we begin to liberate ourselves from those old programs to the point where we are shifting from reaction to response. We are shifting from unconscious to conscious. We are shifting from slave to our own habits into freedom and sovereignty. Yo, Joel, thank you for joining in. And Serena, thank you for joining in as well, for those of you tuned in on YouTube. And shout out to everybody. We've got a good crowd right now. So I'll just riff on this real quick. Susie, let us know if this has been resonating with you. I already know your comments. You guys are dropping those 1111s like fire. And this has been a good one. And again, the previous cards that we had definitely resonate with this. Like, Susie's been tuned in for all 3 readings today. Knows how it creates a story, knows how it creates like a sequence. Like the first one we did was about being able to connect with like the momentum and like the courage of those before us, like the company that we surround ourselves with. The second one was about being able to unplug from the mass consciousness, super relative. And then this one is about being able to help lead the way. So in the process of unplugging from mass consciousness, it goes hand in hand with being able to lead the way. So one is about being able to kind of like, you know, tap out from like kind of like this collective like programming that's trying to dictate how we live from a very much authoritarian method. And this is about being able to claim that sovereignty. This is about being able to really be able to step back into that place of freedom as a spirit connected with the earth. And that's the thing, right? Like the spirit that comes through you is like literally like this like incredibly beautiful intelligence. And if we can develop this ability where we can deepen our connection with it, it will guide us. And we still have free will. Like I said, our free will is the free will to be able to choose whether or not we align with it or whether we ignore it. Like that's what, like the spirit that speaks through you. I'll just say this and I'll get close to wrapping it up. When we are leading the way, we are literally in this process of being able to connect with our Dharma. And our Dharma is like this golden path that leads us to our soul's evolution, to more of our soul's evolution. Our free will is the ability to step off our Dharma. When we listen to our spirit, we are on our Dharma. When we aren't listening to our spirit, we are off our Dharma. And then usually that's when karma pushes us back onto the path. So in those moments where it's just like, yeah, you haven't really been listening to your spirit, have you? That's when karma comes in and it just kind of gently brings us back to our Dharma. Sometimes it's not gently at all. And then eventually it gives us the opportunity to be like, oh man, maybe I should start listening to my Dharma. But when you do that, as you're listening to your intuition, as you're connecting with spirit, it leads you on a path towards your highest growth, which thus in turn leads you to your sovereignty. Because this is, I'll just say this, freedom is not something external. Freedom is a state of being that you cultivate from within. If your happiness is dependent on XYZ given to you by society and government and things like that, relatively speaking, then you're probably going to be dependent on that. But if you can begin to cultivate a consciousness from the inside out, cultivate this persistent happiness from the inside out, and that's not to say it's a naivety or anything like that. It's just something that is much deeper, that gives you this higher perspective, that even in the face of conflict, you know that you have this deeper connection with spirit that thus instill will allow you to be able to be guided through those moments. And again, this doesn't mean that it's going to be easy all the time, but it does it gives you the opportunity to be able to tap into this higher degree of grace. And when you're in that higher place of grace, you know, that's where you can really allow yourself to go through the flow. And again, this goes hand in hand where, you know, it's not something that literally just happens overnight. It is also something that goes hand in hand with healing and hand in hand with being able to remove blockages and old subconscious programming. And when we do that, we kind of clear the way. We clear the stream. We remove the gunk out of the river, and then the stream naturally flows through. So if you're like, how do I connect more with my spirit? Instead of just thinking, how do I connect more with my spirit? Reflect on what is preventing me from connecting with spirit. What is in the way from me connecting with spirit? And that could, again, be kind of like the environment you're in, the paradigm that you're in, the thoughts being implanted on you from others. And when you begin to kind of like figure out not just who you are, but who you're not, you begin to move the things out of your river. You begin to remove the litter and the garbage out of your river. And then that flow of consciousness and spirit naturally begins to move through you. So lead the way, listen to yourself, light your own path. I choose my own way forward. I am a guiding light. Your way is your way. No one else can walk it for you. Lead your way and you will inspire others to do the same. Beautiful, beautiful card. Susie, thank you so much for helping us pull that card. You did a great job of initiating that facilitation. And we'll take a moment here just to be able to rest my throat chakra. And a lot of spirit coming through in that one. That's just a regular day here for tarot with Mystic Spider-Man. If that resonated with you guys, if that inspired you, feel free to drop some 1111s and gratitude into the chat. And we'll take a moment here for you guys to be able to write out any affirmations based on the teaching of this card, what it meant to you. So I invite you guys to just be able to take an opportunity here to be able to share a little affirmation based on what that card meant to you. Like, do that not just because I'm asking you to, do it as a practice so that whatever came through is something that will just kind of like embody itself through your physical. So Susie says, oh, thank you. You're amazing. Thank you, Susie. Happy to be able to share. So a quick little affirmation. I'll just listen to my heart real quick. So is the sound not working on Instagram? Cammy, was the sound not working on Instagram? Is that why no one's tuned in on Instagram? Can you double check that, Cammy? I just saw someone just said no sound, but I don't know why the sound isn't working. It should be working fine. So someone double check on the sound on Instagram if you guys can. Anyways, we're almost done, theoretically, unless we have another reading. Affirmation. I am continuing to cultivate a deeper connection with my own intuition and wisdom of spirit. In doing so, I liberate myself to new realms of sovereignty and freedom while inspiring others to do the same. So, cheers to your freedom, to you leading the way. So, All right. Susie, thank you again for joining in on the Patreon. Susie, if you want to send me a direct message, if you have any other questions about getting connected, please feel free to let me know. And we'll get you set up in the next little bit on our Discord server and so forth. And yeah, we got some upcoming events. Soul Walks says, like the river and the deer, I lead my way towards myself. Very well said, Soul Walks. And Soul Walks, thank you so much for your engagement. I did see your comment, I think, was it on TikTok, saying that like you were actually like inspired by some of our broadcasts to like do your own stuff. That's so cool. I'm so happy to hear that. Ripples create waves. So awesome. Thank you again, Susie. So cool. Cami, why is the Instagram not working? That's so weird. Literally I have no idea why it's not. Okay, I guess I'll reset the Instagram. Boop, 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 boop. Meaning that video didn't save on Instagram today. Whatever. All right, team. Let me just take a moment here. Like I said, that will either be our last reading for today, but if there is, well, if there is anybody that wants to be able to sign up on Instagram, sign up on PayPal or Patreon, please feel free to do that now. Soulwalks, thank you again. 1111, love your style. Love your style. So, real quick, if you guys resonate with my work, this is an invitation to be able to join my Patreon membership. Again, through the Patreon membership, that's where you can get connected with our community events, our private membership events. Today, we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle at 4 p.m. EDT. And we also have our Conscious Creator Soul Party coming up this Thursday. Again, it's $11 a month on Patreon. And if you guys check that out and feel free to sign up now, then we'll initiate another reading. And again, that's also a place to be able to help support you, to be able to help you share the content that you're creating as well. And also, if you guys want to sign up at the $33 level on Patreon, that's the best value there. I would definitely encourage you to check that out if that works. And that's where you can get monthly meetings with me for coaching, conscious media coaching. And also, you can get the Light Guardian Crystal as a bonus. And just ask that you pay shipping there. Excuse me as I'm just trying to fix the Instagram here. We'll see whether or not this works. But yes, if anybody else would like to be able to sign up for the Patreon, just go ahead and let me know now. The link for that's in my profile on TikTok and Instagram, and also in the info for this video. If anybody already on Patreon wants to upgrade their Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to be able to do that also. And thank you again so much to our Patreon supporters. Thank you again to our recent supporters, to Kelly, aka Susie, to Kristen, to Kayla, to Christine, and to MLJ, and to Sunny, and to everybody else who's been signed up. It's been a great month on Patreon so far. We've had several signups and working towards that goal of 111 is our next milestone goal, and working towards 200 eventually on Patreon. And again, that's before working on reaching that before the star baby comes. I think the star baby is going to be born on April Fool's Day. Like, that's my bet. All right, we are back live on Instagram, possibly, and we were live for a while earlier today, but apparently the sound wasn't working, so here we are again. Cami, if you can check, is the sound working on Instagram now? I'd love to just be able to confirm that. I don't know why it wasn't before. That's kind of weird. So for those of you on Instagram, if you guys can hear me, just confirm real quick. Hey, Instagram, can you guys hear me? The sound wasn't working, so I had to restart the broadcast. Drop an 1111 in the comment if you guys can hear me real quick. That'd be super, super appreciated. Kate, can you hear me? Is that true? Yes? Is that what that means? I hope so. I don't know why it wasn't working. That's so weird. Anyway, team, we just got done a super awesome reading. Thank you, Emmy. Super, super glad to be able to have you guys hanging out with us. We did just have multiple readings that we did here today. The last reading that we did, thank you, Kate, was all about leading your way. If you guys want to check out the recording of that, the YouTube link is in my profile, so feel free to jump over there. We're at the point where we're either going to wrap up the broadcast, or if anybody else would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, we can do another reading. I'm totally fine with whatever. We've been on air for 2 hours so far. 2 hours and 11 minutes so far. So if anybody would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon for another reading on air and a reading for yourself and the collective, go ahead and do that now. Instagram, I apologize for the broadcast not working before. But yeah, allow me to just take a little bit of a break here. I need to rest my throat chakra. So if anybody is thinking of signing up for the PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and just drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know. Or if anybody wants to upgrade their Patreon, you guys can always do that as well. Definitely encourage you guys to check out the $33 level on Patreon. Again, that's the best value there. And that's where you can also get the super beautiful light guardian crystals as well. So when you sign up with the 33, you get a complimentary light guardian crystal. Just ask that you pay shipping. And also, again, the monthly one-on-one sessions with me, which you can do for conscious media coaching or for tarot. So Susie, thank you again so much for joining in. And Soul Walks, thank you again for being here as well. One thing I will note, if some of you are like thinking of signing up for the Patreon, the contributions only process on the first of each month. So even if you sign up today, like it doesn't cost you anything. It's like a trial period, and then the contribution will process October 1st. So if you're just like, oh, but I get paid next week, you could literally sign up today, and then the contribution would process October 1st, if that makes it easier for you guys. So I'm just going to take it easy for a bit. We've been going pretty hard, and I appreciate everybody hanging out. So again, if there is anybody who would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, go ahead and do that now. And yeah, happy to be able to have you here. Susie saying they may up it to the next level. Yeah, Susie, take it to the next level. Susie, I was gonna say, if you do want to upgrade it to the next level, we can do one more reading. Like I could, it's kind of bending my own rules here, which is fine, but we could literally count that as like an upgrade and then do another reading for the collective. So if you want to do that now or do it later, that's totally fine. I know, I feel like a few people are jumping in now who might not have been on earlier. So if we want to do one more reading for the collective, that would be totally an option there as well. Is CeeLo joined in? Did CeeLo join in? CeeLo! Yeah! CeeLo's joined in. For those of you who are leading members, I'm doing some upgrades on the Discord today. And also we have our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle. CeeLo, Cami, anybody else, if you guys are around for that, would love to be able to hang out with you guys. And again, that's like specifically focused on like ways to collaborate, or again, for you guys to be able to receive additional insight as well. So yeah, Susie, so if you sign up for the 33, you would get the one-on-one monthly session with me. And then also you would be able to receive one of the light guardian crystals. So that's like one of the regular quartz ones. The ones that I'm showing, like these are like the Lumerian ones, just because I have to make some of the other ones. The regular ones, they're just a little bit smaller. It's just like the crystal's a little bit different. Sometimes it's a different size. So you would get that if you would like, and you would just pay shipping. So it would just be, I would send you a direct message and we would figure that out. So that way, so it's just like a little bit extra just for the shipping, but the shipping would be paid separately. So yeah, Susie, if that works for you, if you guys want to do that, feel free. And CeeLo, I'm not sure if you saw, Cami, I'm not sure if you saw, this Thursday, we're having a Conscious Creator Soul Party. So for those of you who are interested in joining into our Patreon, join before this Thursday and you can come like join our party. And that will be like just kind of like, I don't know if we're going to record that or not. We may record it just for members, but man, the last time, yes, I'm in the US, correct? Or no, I'm not in the US, I'm in Canada. You're in Canada too, as far as I think you're in Canada too, because I noticed it came through on the Canadian currency version. So, but yeah, usually $10 is usually $10 is what I do for shipping. It's usually just like a flat rate. So, and if there's anything else you wanted to put into your package, just let me know, because there are some like other items and buttons and stuff like that as well. So, oh, awesome, Susie, we're like literally neighbors then. I'm in London, Ontario. Go Team Ontario. So cool. Yeah, so Cami, CeeLo, maybe we'll see you guys at the party on Thursday. That'll be exciting. So we could do some tarot there together as a team and stuff. Maybe Cami, maybe you want to do some like angel stuff. Angel stuff. What do you do, Cami? I do angel stuff. Like, oh, and sound. Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Susie, thank you again for connecting. So, okay. Well, I'll just hang out here with you guys for a little bit. I think I'll make sure that we're not going past 3 hours on the broadcast, but we can definitely do one more reading, and we've had an awesome amount of readings so far. Susie, did you want to do the upgrade now? And if so, we can definitely do one more reading for the collective if that works for you. And again, and with the Patreon, you guys let me know. Like, it's super flexible. If like, you know, a couple months down the road, you're like, hey, I gotta put it on pause. Like, that's okay. Like, it's really, really flexible. So, cool. Awesome. Yeah, Cami, you're gonna bring the angels. So, angel party. So, cool. But yeah, that'll be fun. Oh, awesome. Tara, thank you so much. Tara, happy to be able to see you here in the Instagram as well. And Tara, since you joined on the Patreon a few days ago, but you haven't been on air for some of our broadcasts, I'd be more than happy to be able to facilitate a reading here for you as well. So if you would like to be able to stick around for a bit, we can definitely do that. You're definitely entitled to a reading there. And yeah, I'd be happy to help facilitate that for you. So Yeah, Tara, thank you so much. Happy to be able to have you here, and welcome again to the Patreon. So cool. Tara, if you're sticking around right now, do you want us to do a reading for you? And again, the way how we do it, it would be like a reading for yourself and for anybody else who's tuned in right now. And then again, we'll do that by doing a quick little meditation. You'll get to choose which deck you would want. So, Tara, if you want to stick around for that and you would like to be able to help facilitate a reading, just go ahead and let me know, and we can do that for you guys. I will say, like, we've been going for 2 hours, so I just have to be careful with my throat. Like, I'm being very mindful of just kind of like my what my body is telling me. So, Tara, I appreciate the option. Tara is asking if I might want to do it another day. Well, let me just check in because Susie, did you want to upgrade your Patreon? Because if you want to upgrade yours, then we can do that since you kind of said that first. And then Tara, if we see where we're at time wise, I can definitely do it for you another time. Yeah, because it's almost we're getting up to 3 hours, so I feel like taking a break is definitely something that my body will need soon. But I was saying I'd be good for one more. So if we either do one for Tara or for Susie, either or is good for me. And Tara, I appreciate the flexibility on that. So okay. All right, okay, so let's do one more. Okay, Susie's busy with getting lunch ready and stuff like that. So let's do one for Tara then. So Tara, would you like to be able to help us facilitate this one? And by that, it would just involve you choosing which deck you would like to be able to help use, and then we will do a reading. And if anything, I might kind of like I just gotta listen to my body. So sometimes when I do these, they'll turn into like a 50-minute reading. This one might be a little bit shorter, but we'll still make it count. So Tara, if you would like to be able to help facilitate this next reading, just go ahead and let me know, and you can just be like, yeah, sure, that's cool. My pleasure. Okay, awesome. All right, so Tara is on Instagram, so if you see me looking towards the camera over there, that's why. And thank you again to those of you on all platforms. Guys, give a nice welcome and thank you to Tara, who joined on the Patreon a few days ago, but is joining us on the live broadcast right now. So Tara, you can choose which deck you would like to use. There's the Tarot deck, the Ananda Tarot deck, the Hero's Journey deck, which is Oracle, the Lightworker Oracle deck, or the Sacred Spirit deck. And today we have had one from the Hero, the Lightworker, and the Sacred Spirit. So which one would you like to use? Is it Terra? Like I see how you're spelling it there. It's almost like Terra, as in like Earth and stuff. So if I pronounce it correctly, then I think it would be Terra. I'm pronouncing it correctly. So cool. Okay. All right. Sacred Spirit. Perfect. Let's do another Sacred Spirit. All right, this will be our last reading for today. Susie, if you're sticking around and you want to upgrade to the Patreon while we're still live here, let me know. Or if you do it later in the day, then we can definitely just kind of like do an additional reading another time when you're tuned in. And yeah, I'll just listen to my body. I appreciate you guys just understanding that I'm a human too. Despite popular possibility that I may actually be a robot. I remember back in the day, I used to like create this narrative. I mean, I still do. And we'll get right into this reading, where basically I would tell people that I'm actually like I'm like a version of myself from the future that like cloned itself to be able to send myself back in time. And then like the present day version of myself is actually like off doing another mission. And then like I'm like the future version of myself that got sent back in time, if that makes sense. It's very, very complex. So, okay. All right, Tara. The way how we're going to do this, we're going to do a meditation, and I'm just going to lead you into your heart space. And for everybody here, you guys are invited to be able to join. And from this, we'll just focus in on gratitude. And then from this place of gratitude, we will focus on the intention, show us what we need to see. And then with that, Tara, I'll just invite you to be able to just take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and then when you're ready, you'll type now in the chat. And at that point, that's when we'll split the deck. So the moment you type now, that's like the moment where we synchronistically pull the card. So Tara, if that's cool with you, just let us know if you're ready. I'll lead you into the meditation, and then we will go from there. And thank you again for adding your support. So beautiful. All right. Thank you again to those of you on TikTok and Instagram as well. So okay. Again, this will be our last reading for today. And if there are any other additional signups, then we will go from there. And if I need to take a break, I'll let you know. But either way, we'll go with the flow. All right, let's do this reading. For For everybody here, just inviting you to be able to join us in this meditation. Or if you're busy doing something else, that's totally fine. So, for everybody here, when you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales. And soft, gentle exhales. For Tara and for everybody here, just allowing yourself to arrive into your heart. And as you do, just allowing yourself to just be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. Gratitude for this space. Gratitude for this community. From this space of gratitude for Tara and for everybody here, collectively focus our attention on the intention. Show us what we need to see. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the community, we being the team. Continuing to focus on this intention for everybody here, speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Imagining this like beautiful beam of light coming up from where you are, connecting into the heavens, bringing down the wisdom of this star into the cards. Tara, continuing to listen to your intuition. Take a few more breaths here, nice and softly at your own pace. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and type now into the chat. And at that point, we'll split the deck. For everybody else, you guys can gently open your eyes now and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. I'll do a quick charge. Here we go. The magic is all around us each and every single day, and so I invite you to open your heart so that we can truly play with the sacred spirit that is within, that has been here all along, and we will continue to move through the rhythms of this song. And so as Tara types now into the chat, we split the deck to see what message the universe has. Beautiful. Ooh, oh wow. This is beautiful. I don't think I've pulled this one on air before, so this is a fresh one for us. So, for those of you who are tuned in with Tara, one of our newer Patreon supporters helping facilitate, this card is for you. The card that we have pulled is Zelda sound effect. Card number 8. Channel your knowledge. Critical judgment. Card number 8. Channel your knowledge. Critical judgment. Let's dive a little bit deeper here. We're going to open up into the book. I'll explain the visual image. And yeah, thank you so much again, everyone, for being here. So, CeeLo, I love your wizard noises. Zerm, waka, waka, waka. All right, okay. So again, I'm just holding the card up to the Instagram, but also for those of you on the YouTube as well. Tara's on the Instagram feed right now, so it's just next to my laptop. All right, so visual image here. Again, this is artwork by our friend Lewis Dyer, and the character here in this card is actually a depiction of Lewis himself, I can tell. And so here we have this image of this individual who is holding a pen, and this is like literally a very meta image of him making art. And you can see this beautiful, beautiful depiction with these beautiful golden lights, and these eyes are representing, again, kind of like higher conscious wisdom channeled down into his body, into his vessel, into his ability to be able to produce and create this content of knowledge through a variety of forms and mediums. So again, I'm just literally explaining the literal image of this card. And yeah, there's not too much more of it, but yeah, just a beautiful image again of like what it would look like for the channeled knowledge to be able to come on through. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. Again, if you guys are tuned in, this card is for you. Again, this will be our last reading for today, unless there are any new contributions on PayPal or Patreon, or any upgrades on any contributions of PayPal or Patreon. And let's dive deep. So for everyone here, allow yourself to just be able to listen to the wisdom of this card. If you guys want to close your eyes, that's fine. And yeah, thank you so much. This card, this message is for you. If anything I say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chats. Here we go. Card number 8. Channel your knowledge. Clear expectations. Critical judgment. Automatic writing is a safe and powerful process of channeling spirit directly into writing. Like any sense or intuitive skill, it can be sharpened and improved with time and practice. More importantly, anyone can learn this skill Without the active conscious self, the mind becomes free to instruct and navigate the individual. Automatic writing enables the channel to access higher states of consciousness and awareness. Innovation and creation is a byproduct of channeling in this way. Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein were consistently inspired by the form of thought from pen to paper. If you are just beginning to open yourself to intuitive and spiritual communication, automatic writing can act as a bridge to strengthen your mind and intuitive channel. Before undertaking such a skill, you are encouraged to keep a clear and sacred space, free of lower thought forms and energies that may cling or seek to enter any open channel. Seek a suitable teacher. Currently, soul guidance is required. You are being asked to connect to the higher wisdom of your soul. Removing ego-based barriers such as expectations, internal ridicule, fear, and control are necessary for clarity and peace of mind. Feelings of being physically, mentally, or energetically blocked or stuck in areas of your life, such as employment and relationships, requires action. But you must be ready to let go of your expectations. Creating a peaceful environment to free your mind is essential now. Allowing your pen or pencil to wander on a sketch pad, forming doodles or symbols, or painting or musical creation will assist you in writing issues such as writer's block. With relaxed breath, let your thoughts inspire you to create or record new information as your inner thoughts and spiritual messages are conveyed to you to record in written word. Working with higher vibrations or elevated energies will improve this communication and length of spiritual discussion. Shadow aspect: ignoring your own advice, inability to be objective. Sacred crystal, blue kyanite. Angel assistance: guardian angel Hariel, educational success, writing, productivity. Affirmation: my mind is open. I receive my soul's guidance loud and clear. Beautiful, beautiful card here. Give me a second. Just gotta keep my water intake up. Yeah, my throat's getting a little bit sore, so I'll keep this one pretty short. But yeah, this is interesting because like the previous card that we got, again, kind of like was like building upon this concept. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. Thank you again, everyone, for tuned in. This will be our last reading for today. I'm going to call it after this one. But any future signups on PayPal or Patreon, you guys can feel free to do those at your convenience. So for Tara and for everybody else here, again, I think the message in this card is very straightforward in a lot of ways, where it's definitely inviting us to be able to develop more ways in which we can connect with spirit. And connecting with spirit through creative expression is such a beautiful way to do it. You know, there's a lot of ways to be able to connect with spirit just through like meditation and going out in nature and dream time. But when you connect with spirit in a way where you're developing this relationship between yourself and it as a channel, you realize that spirit is here to be able to move through you. And I like to think of spirit in various contexts. One of the terms that actually resonates with me quite deeply is a term some of you have heard me refer to before, and this actually comes from like Scandinavian, like Viking origins, and the term, and like Druid, more so Druid, and the term is Awen, A-W-E-N, and the term Awen actually refers to the creative inspiration of spirit that moves through us, and you can literally think of it as like a liquid, like it's like water that runs through us. And so when someone is singing a song that they're just making up on the spot, or someone is writing poetry on a piece of paper, what's happening there is literally this process of the Awen moving through them. And so with this card, it's really inviting us to be able to know that that creative flow of energy, that creative flow of inspiration is always there. Always, 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 always there. What we want to be able to do as individuals is begin to become aware more of the things that are blocking it. And again, you know, the things that are blocking it, as it says here, can be physical blockages, like a physical something within our body. It can be mentally, it can be energetically. And so when we begin to become aware of like the blockages within our life, it allows us to be able to move into these new stages of being where the creative flow moves through us with a little bit more ease and a little bit more variety and a little bit more dynamic expression. So if you're feeling like you are a little bit blocked energetically, then it's okay to be able to be aware of that. And sometimes, even in the process of being able to tap into this practice of bringing forth this creative expression through things such as creative writing, song, expression, art making, and everything like that, literally helps remove the blockages in itself. Because A-W-E-N is the spelling for that, Silamon. A-W-E-N, Awen. So, I love that. I love Awen. I feel like, damn, I'm like, am I going to name my daughter Awen? I feel like I might. I'll mention that to Lacey. I'm like, damn, that's a good name. Anyways, so I don't even know if it's a daughter yet, but I feel like it is. So, okay, but anyways, so with this card is really inviting us to be able to know that there is so much creativity that moves through us in any moment. And simply through the process of being able to practice it helps clear the blockages. You know, it's like a muscle. It's something that you develop. It's a stream that can become stronger over time. A lot of people, it's very sad because they will often say like, oh, I'm not a creative person. I'm like, you are a creative person. You are a creative person because you are a creative being. There is no part of you that lacks creativity. There is only the illusion of lack. And so in this process of being able to invite ourselves into this permission where perhaps we feel safer to be able to tap into more of this creativity is incredibly powerful. And this is something that, you know, I think this card is not only just for us, but it's also for those around us. Because I think when we allow ourselves to focus on creating safe and comfortable and encouraging and nurturing spaces, we're also inviting others to be able to tap into more of their creative expression. You know, it's kind of like this idea, and I've talked about this before, where, you know, you take a group of children and then you take a group of adults and they're in two separate rooms, and you take some instruments and you put them on the ground and you say to the kids, play these instruments. What do the kids do? They literally are just like, sweet, and they just start playing with the instruments. They start just like making noises. They don't know what they're doing. They're playing with it. They're in the moment. They're just expressing. They are just pure spirit. Nothing's holding them back. You go into the other room, group of adults. You put a bunch of instruments in the middle of the room. Play these instruments, you say. Some of those adults are going to be like, I don't know how to play those. Like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Like, I have no idea how to play those instruments. And then you're just like, logically, you're just like, what are you talking about? Like, play with them. Play with them. They are an instrument. Play isn't something you do. Play is something you are. And so when you allow yourself to understand that play is the expression of creativity, play is the expression of spirit that literally moves through us at any time, we allow ourselves to begin approaching things in a much different perspective. Hey, Marissa, thank you for joining in. And so, again, this idea of like a group, two groups, group of kids, play these instruments. And they're like jamming out. A group of adults, here, play these instruments. And some of them are like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I don't want to do it. And there's actually these blockages. And to pay attention, you know, where are those blockages coming from? Somewhere along the road, someone told them, you can't play an instrument. You're not good enough to play an instrument. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. And so those in themselves are the mental and the energetic blockages. And so when we become aware of those in the first place, it gives us the opportunity to begin to dissolve them. And sometimes that dissolving actually happens before the instance of creative expression, but sometimes the creative expression actually initiates the dissolving. So if you create the environment where, you know, someone is just kind of like speaking to their inner child and it's like, dude, it's okay. Like, just play with these instruments. Watch, I'll jam out with you. And you just start to kind of like making the music and playing with the songs. And it's like, ding, 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 ding. And there's no judgment. And suddenly the other person's kind of like, oh man, maybe I can. Or maybe they're just on the drums, something simple. And it's just kind of like a little like jam session going on. And then suddenly in that moment, they realize that they're not thinking about the fact that they can't play that instrument, but they simply are being. They're purely in the present moment. And in that present moment, you're allowing that creative expression to flow through you. So with this card, again, you know, it kind of goes back to this metaphor that I've talked about where, you know, imagine this creative expression as being like this like flow of energy that moves down a river. Within our life, as we grow into adults, we've accumulated like garbage in our river. And the garbage literally prevents the stream of water, of creativity, of the Alwyn to properly go. It like literally gets dammed up. It gets blocked. And it just like hits these moments where it's just like and spraying all over the place. It doesn't go anywhere. So we can dissolve those blockages collectively and individually. And there's so many different ways for us to be able to channel the knowledge and to channel the inspiration and to channel the expression. And I think each and every single one of us, much like how we said before, when we're listening to ourself, there's the listening to like the little self, and then there's like the listening to like the bigger self, like the oversoul, the higher conscious, the collective consciousness self. And when we do that, we can allow ourselves to begin to channel this inspiration and this wisdom and this message and this art, not just for us. Like even right now, like who am I channeling this inspiration for? Who am I channeling this message for? I'm channeling it for the bigger us. I'm channeling it for whoever's tuned in right now. This isn't for me. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for whoever's tuned in right now and for who's open to receive it. So when you allow yourself to get into this creative expression where you realize some of the art that you will create, some of the expression you will create, it will just be for you. It won't be something that you'll share. But then you can also allow yourself to be able to move more into that altruistic space where you're just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to write a poem to the world. Give yourself that assignment. See what comes through. Put pen to paper, listen to your heart, and just allow yourself to express. And allow yourself within that to approach the entire process as a meditation. And then if you notice there are these little blockages and these obstacles and these little voices that say, oh, that's stupid, that doesn't work, that's not good enough, send those love. Don't resist them. Observe them. Send them love. And just remind them that you are worthy, you are whole, you are potential, you have beautiful things inside you that are here to be expressed, and you're safe to express them. And notice how, boom, in the process of doing that, the voice and the energetic blockages that were once loud and saying, you can't play those instruments, you're stupid, don't even try, you're just going to embarrass yourself. Eventually, those begin to subside. They begin to become quieter and quieter and quieter. And what they are replaced with is the excitement, is the play, is that higher vibrational frequency of actually being able to cultivate the joy of expression, the relationship of expression. That's where, like, you know, it's like a lot of times people are just like, oh, like, you know, like I have to hang out with another person in order to be happy. I think one of the best things we can do is be able to deepen our connection with creative expression, where you're like, I want to hang out with my creativity. I want to literally just sit here in the room and just kind of like practice being able to listen to my heart, give myself a little objective of being able to say, I'm going to draw a picture, I'm going to write some poetry, I'm going to make a song, and then just allowing yourself to be able to see what comes through there. Hey, Lizzie, thanks for joining in. And when you do that, that can be incredibly liberating, incredibly healing. Oftentimes what will happen is you'll actually end up surprising yourself. You'll be like, whoa, I didn't know that was in me. Or like you give yourself this gift of this moment where you're just like, whoa, this is something that I haven't tapped into since I was a child. So when we're talking about channeling our knowledge, again, we're also talking about channeling the not just the knowledge, but like the knowledge is also the form of like the art itself, the message itself, the expression itself, the gnosis, the knowing, this like wisdom of spirit that speaks through us in all moments. So with this card, I'll just get close to wrapping it up because we've been on air here for almost 3 hours. So I got to rest my voice. We got our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle coming up in a couple hours. So I got to get rested and ready for that. But this is a call to action. This card is giving you permission. Susie, I can see you resonate with it as well. Susie says, yes, done. Poem then shared. People needed to hear the words. Absolutely. And this is a call to action for everybody here. You have permission to be able to express yourself. You have permission to be able to explore what it means to be an artist. And this is a term that I like to be able to use. Instead of just calling yourselves artists, use the term heartists. This was a term that I passed on to many people in the community, and now I see a lot of people using it. But this is a term that came to me way back when I was in California, and someone began using it. I was like, whoa, that's so cool, because that's what we're doing. We are heartists. We channel the wisdom through the portals of the heart, and we bring them out into this world. And we bring them out into this world so the wisdom of the heart through our art becomes healing. It becomes magic. It becomes transformational. It literally can change someone else's life, and it will also give them permission to be able to tap into their inner heartist as well. So tap into your inner heartist, channel your knowledge through whatever medium that is today, and explore a variety of mediums. Maybe that's written, maybe that's instrument, maybe that's paint on brush, maybe that's something on the computer, maybe it's spoken word, maybe it's poetry, whatever the case may be. You are an incredibly, infinitely brilliant person. And if you feel that there are blockages between you and that practice, again, just allow yourself to either find community, find others where you can allow yourself to feel safe in expressing yourself through those blockages. Give yourself permission to be able to let those blockages dissolve and allow yourself to experience the joy of seeing what happens when that creativity expresses itself through you. So channel your knowledge. My mind is open. I receive my soul's gifts, my soul's guidance loud and clear. So beautiful, beautiful message. Tara, if you're still tuned in on Instagram, let us know if that resonates with you. Drop an 1111 for anybody else in the chat. We'll write out a little affirmation here. And yeah, again, reminder for those of you who are in our Patreon membership, we do have circles here within the community. We do have our flow tree workshops, and there are other circles that we're opening up into. Probably going to be opening up into just like more like creative jam sessions that I want to be able to hold space for, because those are like super powerful in a variety of ways. But yeah, the flow tree workshops, for those of you who again are Patreon members or thinking of becoming Patreon members, those are when we practice doing freestyle flowetry. And so like I help hold space for you guys, and then I'll support you and motivate you and inspire you, and you get to experience what it's like when you create like poetry on the spot straight from your heart. It happens. Any of us can do it. It's super cool. And I've seen a lot of people and Tara, I see your comment as well. Tara says there, I'm going to explore automatic writing, allow myself. Beautiful. Where there's been many people that have joined our flowtree workshops, and even in those moments of the workshop, it's like been quite healing for them, because they get to experience what it's like where they're just like, whoa, I didn't even know I could do this. And then suddenly they're doing it and they're just like, whoa, this is unlocking confidence in me that like folds into other parts of my life. So quick little affirmation for those of you who are tuned in. If you guys want to leave a little affirmation into the chat, go ahead and do that now. An I am or a we are affirmation. So I'll just do that and you guys can share it, and I encourage you to do so. So I am continuing to give myself permission to express my channel of infinite source knowledge through a variety of mediums and artistic expressions, to bring forth the wisdom both for my own healing and transformation, and to be able to help inspire the hearts of others. Beautiful. Tara says 1111, there's so much in this that resonates. Yes, channeling spirit, non-judgmental, creating sacred space. Beautiful, Tara. Beautiful. Awesome. Tara, thank you again for joining in, and happy to be able to have you connected as well. And Tara, please feel free to send me a direct message as well if you're still just looking to connect, because I think you're connected onto the Patreon I think you signed up at the first level. So the second level is the one with like the access to the events. But if you're looking to just get started and stuff like that, just send me a direct message and we can still make sure that you have access to the events and everything. So that's totally fine. We're flexible here. So beautiful. Tara, thank you so much. And again, Susie, thank you so much for your comments. Yeah, it's been awesome hanging out with you guys. We'll wrap it up here unless there is like any last signups for the PayPal or the Patreon. I can just kind of check in with myself, and if like there's any last signups, that's cool. But if we're ready to wrap it up, then we will wrap it up. So it's beautiful. Tara, I'm happy to hear that was inspirational for you. Honestly, guys, like when we do these readings, like they're inspirational for me too, right? Like I get to share them with you guys, but I'm also here receiving them. Like this practice of me during the tarot readings is exactly what that card was talking about, right? We read from the book, but then everything else that comes through, you know, that's me channeling my Alwyn, and you guys are here to channel your Alwyn too. That's a big part of what being this human body is about. We literally are channels for like this source wisdom and inspiration. So cool. Awesome. All right, team. Well, if there are any last minute signups for PayPal or Patreon, please feel free to do that now. But otherwise, we are going to wrap up the broadcast. We've been going for about 3 hours. So thank you again to our recent Patreon supporters. Thank you to Susie. Thank you to Kristen, Kayla, Christine, MLG, Sunny, and many more of you who are signed up on Patreon. We're currently at about 111. So if you guys are fans of my work and you guys want to connect further with our community of conscious creators, definitely check out the Patreon, and a lot of awesome people there. So Tara, have a beautiful day. Thank you again for swinging by, and thank you again for your support on the Patreon. So beautiful. All right, so allow me to just kind of chill out here for a minute. Beautiful. That was a good broadcast today, that's for sure. And again, you know, when we do these broadcasts, it's like sometimes there's a lot of people tuned in, sometimes there's a smaller group tuned in, but it's all meaningful. It's still reaching people, so. Try initiating a raid on Twitch. For those of you tuned in on TikTok or Instagram, we've done several readings for today. We're close to wrapping it up. If there is anybody who would like to be able to receive one more reading on air, feel free to contribute on PayPal or Patreon. The link for those are in my profile for those of you on TikTok or Instagram. And again, for those of you thinking of signing up on the Patreon, definitely encourage you to do that. That's where you can join our membership community events. And yeah, we got some stuff coming up today. We got our Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle. And we also have our Conscious Creator Soul Party this Thursday. And lots and lots of other stuff still to come. So I'm just checking out who else is live here right now. Cool. If anybody else is thinking of signing up for the Patreon today, do me a favor, just drop a 555 in the chat. Let me know, and then we can stick around. But I think we're ready to wrap it up in a few minutes. So it's been a good one today. So it's always a good one. Hey, Rhubarb Pie. Good to see you. Again, we're just chilling out here. We've done, what did we do? 3 readings? 4 readings today? How many did we do so far? Multiple readings, some really inspirational stuff. A lot of like creative theme stuff, which was really, really cool. And at this point, I'm just kind of hanging out, and we're just putting out some last calls for anybody who would like to be able to receive an on-air reading. And again, that's available when you sign up for the Patreon or you join on the PayPal. And again, the Patreon, it's $11 monthly membership. And another thing, like with the Patreon, there's so many perks there, and like that's also like access to me for conscious media creation coaching. We do have a dojo coming up in the next couple weeks where I'm going to be teaching you guys about building your own Patreons. So if you are a conscious creator and you're looking to be able to help build your community and even like build your regenerative income, that's one of the things that I'm always here to be able to help you guys with. So stay tuned and definitely check out the Patreon if you're feeling called to be able to connect there. And yeah, we got some other cool events. We got our Conscious Creator Soul Party coming up this Thursday. And we also got our Conscious Creator Collaborative Circle. And this Wednesday, this is for anyone, not just members. Wednesday, our Paradigm Shift Circle discussion is this reality a simulation? So that's going to be a fun one as well, too. So yeah, Rhubarb, good to see you again. Throwing it back to the lucidity days. That's awesome. So yes. So again, for those of you who are looking to be able to connect further with me and our beautiful team of conscious creators, there's so much there to be able to offer you. And when you join on the Patreon, like join in a way where like I want you to join where you're doing it not just for me, but for yourself. And it's like a fuck yes to yourself as well. So, and again, the support there, it's helping support you, it's helping support the team, and it's also helping support Lacey and I. My goal is to be able to have 200 Patreon signups before the baby comes, which again is going to be, I think the birthday for the baby is going to be April 1st. So I'm hoping it is. I want my baby to be born on April 1st. So Susie, the necklace, this is just one of the Light Guardian crystals that's in necklace form. So if that's something that you're interested in, I could always like make you a custom Light Guardian crystal that's like more to this scale. Even if you're signing up for the $33, I can always do like a custom version of it as well. I'm going to be making some new Light Guardian crystals in the next few days. So this one's just a Light Guardian crystal that has a purple light on the inside. So they come in different sizes. Some are bigger. You can see here, like this is like one of the Lumerian ones. And this one is obviously a little bit bigger. And then there's like different style and sizes as well. So, and they come with a base color, a solid color. And then they also come with a multicolor light. So cool. Gotcha. No problem, Susie. Cool. And yeah, and you guys can always check out the items on my shop individually. And as Patreon supporters, you guys also get discounts for items on the shop. So if you sign up at the $33 level, you do get the option to be able to receive one of the Light Guardian crystals as like a thank you with just pay shipping. But then if you guys want to get more than that, there is the option to be able to check out the shop and use your discount code there. There's a level on my Patreon where like I like there's like a 96% discount for items on my shop, which would basically mean you could literally just like become like a retailer, like a wholesale for my, it's like a super bargain deal where you could like literally purchase items from my shop and resell them. So like even the buttons, the shift buttons, you could like buy a bunch of buttons and then resell those buttons and make your money back if you wanted to do that. You could. You could. So cool. Awesome. Oh, Susie's going shopping, so cool. And Susie, when you signed up for the Patreon, you would have got your discount code. When you sign up at the $33 level on the Patreon, you actually get a higher discount code. It's a little bit higher. It's not a lot higher. So yeah, like it's like at the, there's like a Patreon level that I have. No one, if someone signs up to this, I will do a backflip. But there is a Patreon level on my thing that's like $1,000 Patreon monthly subscription. And basically the only difference with that is that that's like the 96% discount code for items. So if you like want to become a wholesale retailer, that's there. It's just there. I'm not expecting it. The best value is like the $33 value, and then like the $69 value is another option there. And at the $69 value, that's where you get the Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, opposed to just the regular Light Guardian Crystal. So the Lumerian Light Guardian Crystals, like those ones on my website, those I sell for like, it's like $85, $90, give or take. And again, those are rare. Like the Lumerian crystals in themselves, not even just like the ones that I make as the Light Guardian crystals, like those are becoming more and more rare. I spent a lot of time being able to find those over the years. And yeah, super excited to be able to create those into Light Guardian crystals to be able to share with people. So cool. All right. Well, team, we've been broadcasting for quite a bit. I'm ready to be able to wrap it up. I'm going to give myself a break so that we can get ready for some other work this afternoon. And again, also have the Conscious Creator Collaboration Circle at 4. So I'm going to go get myself some food and do a few other things. Susie, thank you so much for your support. Again, if you're looking at signing up for the $33 level on the Patreon, I'll keep my eye open for that. And if you do have any other questions for that, please feel free to send me a direct message as well. And yeah, always happy to be able to help support you guys. So thank you for reaching out. Feel free to check out the Patreon when you can and see which tier resonates with you there. And yeah, we'll wrap it up here. And again, there's also our Discord server and you can connect there. And I'm going to be doing some upgrades on the Discord in the next couple days. So I think that's about it. Cool. All right, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining in. My name is Mystic Spider-Man. We'll be live again for more Inspirational Team Tarot, Monday to Friday at about 11 a.m. EDT. So make sure you guys are subscribed on my TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. And yeah, have an awesome day. And send me a direct message if you have any questions about the PayPal and Patreon. And always happy to be able to have you guys here. So thank you for making these broadcasts so magical. So, all right, shutting down the broadcast now. Thank you guys as always. Mystic Spider-Man signing off. Much love, keep it shifty, and see you in the future. So, beautiful. Tara, thank you again. Take care, guys.